Why Unsafe Moon? Unsafe Moon aims to break down the technical barrier presented in crypto today with a user-friendly and easy-to-use platform. Unsafe Moon is working to open the floodgates to millions of aspiring cryptopreneurs by offering a simple-to-use toolkit to build the project of their dreams. Hashtag the moon is haunted.
Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get away with this. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Once again, welcome back. Drunken Peasants Podcast 909. We are 2 episodes away from episode 911. And if my name was Frank, I would tell you we still have no idea what the fuck we're doing for episode 911.
I know
that's
what
a
we're doing.
tough slot to fill.
I'm worried. Yeah, because we didn't really do too much.
We're gonna have to call it episode 911 because we don't want to get YouTube.
Yeah,
we don't want to get copyright.
Yeah. You're not allowed to talk about the news. I forgot they took that away from regular.
We're not allowed.
Well, we just got our main channel back because we were in YouTube jail for a week.
Yeah,
and they took away our monetization too, but they gave that back. But we still have a strike for now because we, it was an old video. It was a video from almost 4 years ago, and
So what you're saying is make a new channel every 4 years so that they can't go back and retroactively get you for something that used to be okay.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about it for me is if they passed a law today, they couldn't arrest people who broke it a couple of years ago. But YouTube does that. It's almost like they don't want your older videos. Maybe that is. Maybe they're tired of the server space and they're hoping people will delete a bunch of their old videos.
I'm going to call right now, fans at home, send us some of the funniest 911 calls that are out there. Like get us the video clips of like people who call in when they're high because they ate too many brownies, stuff like that.
I saw one where like some woman called 911 because they wouldn't give her money back at McDonald's because she wanted her money back because they didn't put like enough onions on her sandwich.
Yeah, we should watch a bunch of those that night too.
Oh my god,
I got one.
Those
way
can be
more petty.
hilarious.
I remember one Christmas, the Xbox servers got taken down. So children all over the country were calling 911 to tell their local police station,
illegal.
hey, they're hacking. It's illegal. They're hacking the Xbox. And the
That was Lizard Squad, right?
Yeah, it was those guys.
Yeah, I got written up in some articles for that.
That's how Billy knows it because he was part of it.
Yes,
like Billy only remembers stuff about him.
It's true.
I know.
Oh, congratulations for causing all those 911 calls. That was really cool.
No, he didn't do that, but he got written up in it once, so that's why he knows what it is.
Yes.
Oh.
I've learned.
I almost joined the Lizard Squad, except I didn't know how to work a computer.
If Billy's just like ignoring you when you're talking, just bring up something about him and he'll be like, what?
I will be like, what? I'll immediately jump into a detailed response because I know all about me at all times.
Yeah,
I was just
Rap
waiting for
music.
somebody to bring me up. Rap music. Rap music.
Billy the French.
Hippity hop.
Yeah, people were already criticizing your take on Shkreli before they even heard it.
Who?
People in the chat, which I guess
they're wildly uninformed.
Okay, well, we'll get into it in just a moment. First, I want to remind everyone to please like this stream. YouTube has punished us once again because I've noticed every time we've ever gotten a strike on this channel, there's like the viewership plummets because they don't recommend us. They don't notify anybody. So everyone, please give us a like, even if Billy is about to defend Martin Shkreli.
If we can get to $100 in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to start drinking. I have the shakes.
You always have the shakes.
Yeah, but now I want to drink.
Do you really want to drink?
If we can get to $100 in the next 12 minutes.
You don't even have anything to drink.
I'm going to butt chug. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Please.
Everyone,
It'd be great.
If you have any bats in your Brave browser, hit us up with some of those bats right now. Click the little triangle up at the top. Send us your bats. I haven't said that in a while. Also, DP Summer T-shirt sale still going on right now. Link in the description. Use the code DPSummer21 at checkout. That's DPSummer21 for 25% off everything in our store. There's the new Ben and Billy shirt, which, by the way, I have one. It's top quality. The print is really big on the shirt. It's pretty amazing. I also have Jurassic Park, Manatee's Mac and Cheese, the Band series of shirts, which are great, and the Smoke Pan Every Day shirt.
Yay.
Update your wardrobe today.
Hello to Pimp Monk in the chat.
Hello, Pimp Monk.
I heard Pimp Monk
Pimp
got
Monk.
married.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I tried to get him on the last show, but he was too strung out.
He was too busy on his
No, he was
honeymoon?
strung out on the hillbilly heroines.
Oh, man, Pimp. Stop doing hillbilly heroin.
Oh.
But not really.
It's bad.
It is bad.
He was just tired from riding on the bus.
Was he butt chugging on the bus?
He was bus chugging. We're going to go into DP Action News. Here we go.
He called me, sir, and got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
You better well learn to love it.
All right, so let's take a look at the story. The most desired Wu-Tang Clan album ever.
Ladies and Germs. And this album, it's only desired because nobody can hear it.
So the anonymous buyer is probably never going to let anyone else that they don't trust hear it.
I'm not
right?
even
or
sure.
Would they sell it? would they?
I'm not even
once
sure they
it's-
legally can. It's we have to read on what's. I know
Okay.
Martin wasn't allowed
so,
to.
For those of the people who listen on all of the audio platforms, the title of the article is Feds Sell Martin Shkreli's one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan album to anonymous buyer. And I guess it's because he owes money to the feds?
I guess he owed money to the government and they
taxes?
I don't know if it was taxes or if it was fines or whatever it was, but they confiscated a lot of his wares when they picked him up and dropped him in the hokey. The pokey.
It's the pokey.
Is it the pokey? The
You want to
United.
know why they call it the pokey?
Why?
Oh, well, I'll show you later.
So do you like the Pharma Bro nickname? Does he like that? Or
Not particularly.
Okay.
It's just what the media called him. The United States government sold Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli's unique Wu-Tang Clan album this week, more than 3 years after the former hedge fund manager and pharmaceutical executive was convicted of securities fraud. So I think he paid over $2 million for it.
Okay, so let's work back on the origin of the album. So how was it recorded and how was it never heard?
So from what I heard, since all this happened, like Martin didn't say this, people investigated the history of this album, and there was a guy who I guess was buying verses independently from all the old Wu-Tang guys, and he had all these verses, and he thought, he was gonna have like a big maybe rap career or collection or something, and the more he realized he'd spent way too much money on stuff that wasn't going to return his investment, and so he sat down with RZA, and RZA took all the verses, put together an album, filled in the spots. The guy paid him the extra money for it, and instead of putting the album out because the album was kind of trash, they put it behind this idea that they were going to sell it to one person, and one person could have this album. Originally, they were going to sell it for $1 million.
And when they decided this, like Old Dirty Bastard, he was still alive?
No, he had passed away
Okay,
at this
okay.
point.
Okay.
This was all within the last.
But ODB is on the album?
I think they might have gotten a verse from him.
Huh.
I can't remember. I listened to some of it. Martin played some of it over like live streams, but never played the whole thing over live streams. The album came out, and the guys on the album, all the Wu-Tang guys, other than RZA, they weren't getting paid any of this money that came through, so they were all kind of bitter about it. And then word gets out that Martin Shkreli was the one that bought the album, because there was kind of like this big coordinated media blitz hitting Martin with like the fact that he'd raised the price of the Daraprim, the pharmaceutical drug that his company manufactured, and a few other things were happening around him at the same time. And this was just a story that's like, this guy bought the album, and he bought it under auction for $2 million. Originally, it was going up for $1 million, and they were going to take the album and do a listening tour. They were going to go like city to city and have it like in a museum
And what
style.
year did this
and you'd
happen?
come and listen on headphones. This was Martin bought it in 2006, maybe 2015,
So
but it
it was-
came public in 2016.
It was already at the point where the record industry had tanked, and maybe they wouldn't have made $2 million off the album had they released it.
They probably wouldn't
Yeah, because
have.
shit gets pirated now anyway. So
Yeah,
that was probably a smart move on their
It was definitely
part.
a smart move.
Yeah.
Everything I heard about the album, from what I heard myself, and then people who studied the history of how it got put together, it was kind of a stinker. It was. These guys were kind of coming for a
Yeah.
cash grab.
But they're legendary, so it's
course,
like, and
the-
that's why it's so desirable.
The idea
Well, it's great.
behind
You
it.
That's why it's still making
can-
news.
Yeah.
You can make a stinker album, sell it for $2 million, and then not have to put it out and make your band look terrible. So you win all around.
Yeah. The idea behind the album is that you want to hear it, but you won't be able to. And that's what makes it so.
But okay, so even if
So scarcity.
even if this is sold, Martin Shkreli's got this album ripped somewhere on a hard drive hidden somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Also,
He still has it.
Yeah,
And he could still sell it when he gets out.
I wonder if he could release it on blockchain. like have each song on just dropped on like a little whatchamacallit, like NFT style.
You could sell anything on an NFT, man. Yeah, that'd be easy money, surely.
And whoever bought it, I don't know if they have to take over the rights that Martin had behind it, but Martin wasn't able to sell the album. He wasn't able. He could play it publicly, but he wasn't able to.
So he had like listening parties and shit.
He could do that. Yeah, he could have like given it away publicly for free if he wanted to, I think, but he wasn't able to sell it for like. I think there was like 100.
Won't happen, right, Billy?
There was like 100-year ban on selling this album or some crazy like
longer than the first buyer could live.
Yeah. There's like the story behind this is so deep. There was like this crazy false article that went out around the time that said Bill Murray was in the contract, as in having Bill Murray could go and like steal the album back or something. It was like, but that was all bullshit, right? People were just perpetuating this mystery behind it because there was already such a big mystery behind it, and the rumor went out that Bill Murray was the only hope to get the album back. It was so ridiculous, but. Yeah, they came and they took this. I think he had like a Van Gogh or something. He had some real expensive art.
Most of those are publicly owned. They're like in museums and shit. Van Goghs are like, you don't see a lot of Van Goghs.
It might not have been a Van Gogh. It might have been a Rembrandt. It was one of those.
Rembrandt's big too. But a Rembrandt, most Rembrandt paintings are gigantic. They'll like take up like a giant wall.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Those are the two like biggest Dutch artists.
And also, he may have been trolling that he had this stuff too, because he was always on something. There was like this big time where he got the Magic the Gathering card community up in arms because he said he was going to buy out all the reserved list Magic cards. He was going to buy all the Black Lotuses and drive the price up. And since then, people started doing that and have been making a mint off of it. So he like did it as a troll, got the Magic community all rolled up into it, and then they started actually doing what he said. And there's tons of people who have made a fortune off of doing what he suggested. And that's been pretty much everything he says.
Martin Shkreli.
Well, I mean, if you
the old pump and dump, you know what I mean? You
if you
inflate
go
the
back,
value of it, and then you sell it.
Yeah.
Right when everybody else buys it, and then the people who bought it last get screwed.
With the original Magic the Gathering stuff, there was a small amount of stuff that was printed, and it's some of them are on a reserve list. They'll never be reprinted again. So like there is this buy you buy it out, you have the complete, like you have everything. You can control the market price at that point.
That's why my damn Nintendo tapes cost like $200 to buy off eBay. I can't play Mario 3 legitimately, and they won't make another one.
How'd you first meet Martin, and what was the nature of your friendship with him up until his incarceration?
When he was first getting like pushed online as being the big bad man. And everybody was like, "This guy raised the price of AIDS medicine, and he's gonna make it so women with AIDS can't feed their children."
That's when you reached out to him?
Yeah, I was like, "This guy sounds like my type of dude."
I thought you knew him before all that.
No, he popped off.
You are fucking insane.
He popped off, and I went into. He was sitting in a tiny chat room, and he had like this group of people he was talking with, and I came in. And I started messing with him, and he started like messing with me back, and like
you motherfucker.
We just like hit it off. I was like, okay, he's cool. He's like he's hitting back. He's trolling back. He knows the game.
You did the same thing with Onision because it was Billy. Like it was someone named Billy.
It was one of the Onision's exes named Billy, and I put out a YouTube video making it sound like his video explaining his relationship with her was a relationship with me, and I responded to that. And then Onision was like, "That was pretty funny. We should collaborate." And I was like, "Well, I did bring your name up, so I guess I owe you the opportunity to prove to me the type of person you are."
Well, you know, he might be in prison for not paying what's due. But he's so hilarious.
He's not. He's not in prison for not paying what's due. He's in prison for committing securities fraud because he borrowed from one company to pay back another company.
But Al Capone was in prison for tax fraud too.
Yeah.
That was the only thing they could nail him on. But we know Al Capone murdered people. I'm not
We
saying
don't know.
Martin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, guys,
I don't
my,
think-
my bad.
look.
I also got to remind you, I did help Martin kill and bury a bunch of bodies.
I'm not saying Martin Shkreli
Yeah, of
murdered
course
anybody.
not.
I'm not saying that.
He's from everything I've read on this and everything that I've been told.
People are sending him phones in prison and shit like that.
You
Dude,
can buy them. They're like $50 a day to get a phone.
he wasn't supposed to have it. There was a news story.
Nobody's supposed to have it, but everybody can have them if they pay. It's like if you look at the way the prison system's set up, it's made to give like people with money a better existence. It's a business in itself. The business of imprisoning people makes that legal money, and then the inside of it's huge drug trade, huge everything trade inside the gates of prison.
Okay.
So yeah, he got a phone so he can shit post and make calls to people and whatever they say like that. People do that all the time. I got another guy who went to jail for murder that sends me dick pics all the time from a damn phone because he's got girls on the outside that pay his phone so he can send me dick pics.
What did he go to jail for again?
Murder.
What is it?
Murder. Yeah, and he ain't rich. He just got girls. He just got girls throwing him $50 for a burner phone so he can send them dick pics. He slides over and sends me dick pic, tells me to send it to Joe. He's like, hey, how's Joe doing? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think he wants your dick pic though. But yeah, he borrowed from one of his businesses to pay investors in another, and from what I could tell, everybody involved made money. But what he did was illegal, and they got him on, I think, was it 3 or 4 out of 7 charges? So the feds have like a 90% conviction rate. And they only got him on 50% of what they charged him with 60%. So effectively, he beat the odds, even though he's in jail right now. And
Well, I like to have sympathy for the devil, but I've had some dealings with auditors and stuff like that where they come up and say, I want $2 million. And you're like, for what? I didn't. What do you mean? And you got to you bargain with them, right? So yeah, I could totally see him being in court having to bargain down some, red tape that he tripped over, and then somehow he lands in prison over it. That sounds about right. I believe it.
Vic Soul says only 50%. He must be innocent, right, Billy? I mean, there's a lot of people who probably done worse than him that don't even get charged because he was he was on the radar. He put himself there. He talked trash all the time. He was a big fan of pro wrestling, and he thought he'd play the heel to get attention. And he got it. When he went after Hillary Clinton the way he did, and he was out on parole, they're like, nope, you're getting locked up now. All because he was shitposting.
So what's the reason why someone may have not have been able to buy this? Is it in the story here or what?
Okay.
What's the important parts? Because you sent this to me, so I'm wondering, what did you... what were the parts that stood out to you?
I haven't read this yet, so
okay.
I was going to go through it with everybody.
All right.
Through the diligent and persistent efforts of this office and its law enforcement partners, Shkreli has been held accountable and paid the price for lying and stealing from investors to enrich himself. Jacqueline M. Castellas, acting United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, said in a statement on Tuesday, with today's sale of his one-of-a-kind album, his payment of the forfeiture is now complete. Hey, that's cool. Shkreli, 38, was convicted on 2 counts of securities fraud and 1 count of securities fraud conspiracy in August 2017 and sentenced to 7 years in prison. So, prosecutors said that
he's got 3 years left.
He's got 3 years if he serves them all. So he was supposed to be out by now, but I think
not if he got 7 years. He's not.
No, he was supposed to be out with good behavior.
Okay.
He was definitely supposed to be out.
He's
by
done
now,
4.
but I think the phone issue that he got caught with kind of set him up.
Well, that's
put him in a bad position.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't want to argue that against a judge.
But he's been in there tutoring inmates and just being like a pretty good inmate the entire time, so he could still get out early. Prosecutors said that he looted a pharmaceutical company he founded, Retrofin, of $11 million to pay back investors in 2 failed hedge funds he ran, MSMB Capital Management LP and MSMB Healthcare Management LP. Shkreli is most well known for buying the rights to a drug called Daraprim, a life-saving medicine that is used to treat deadly infections in people with HIV and other immune system disorders. It's there to treat toxoplasmosis. So it's every time they bring up HIV, it's a little. It's not for HIV medicine, right? It's just people with HIV have a lowered immune system and they're more likely to be damaged by toxoplasmosis. His company, Turing Pharmaceuticals, hiked the price of the pill from $20 to $750. The price spike caused an outcry nationwide, and lawmakers called for him to testify on Capitol Hill about his business practices. Minutes after Shkreli left one contentious hearing in 2016, he tweeted, "Hard to accept these imbeciles represent the people in our government." See,
so why do you think people hate on him so much? Because he's getting hated. Like, the people that normally agree with us are hating on him right now.
Well, what are they saying?
They're in the chat right there. You can see them.
Point out one of the messages of hatred. I'll address it.
Billy is reaching. Billy seems extra sockable tonight. Billy the Martin simp. You can't read them? They're right there.
That doesn't seem like they're...
There, I'll throw an argument up. What was the point of raising the price of the pill? Did it become more expensive to manufacture, or was it to just bleed money out of people?
So if you look at how medicine works now, he found a drug that had been not like the rights to it had been put up, and he purchased it and he raised it to the price that similar drugs are selling for. Right? It's literal capitalism. They all do this, and he did it with this. All the other companies, the big companies, Pfizer, they all do it as well. He had a punchable face to attach to it. He
so
found
you think it's because the way he
they
looks?
all got punchable faces, in my opinion.
Is it like
but they hide their face?
Is it like
He's out in public.
Pro Jared syndrome?
Maybe he put himself in the public eye, and he became the scapegoat.
Pro Jared looks like a smug prick with a very punchable face, and that's why everyone people who didn't even know anything about him were just kind of like, what? And they were like, that motherfucker's a piece of shit. So it's kind of like that.
He became the fall guy for this. Yeah, they had the Netflix series. It was called I can't remember exactly what it was called, Greed or something. And he was the thumbnail on the Netflix series for Greed. It was like a 13-episode series. One episode had him in it, and he was in it for all of like a minute. And it was a 30-minute episode, and they started with him. They went to show how bad the industry was. They used him as the catalyst point for 1 minute. They used him as the selling point for the entire series, and he was in it for like a moment. It's because...
But that's just a business decision, dude.
I'm saying, but you can't dig much deeper in this, and the fact that he's simply doing what they're doing in this industry. He took advantage of the industry.
The U.S. government's just making a business decision. You know what I mean?
That's literally the U.S. government is a business decision. We're not the land of the free. We're the land of the free range. We go out. We're free range chickens. They harvest us the same. They find every way to take every dime and nickel out of us at every corner. There's a reason the majority of us as Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And you find one guy who came up. His parents were janitors. They're migrant janitors.
Oh God!
He comes in. He finds an exploit.
Are you his campaign manager? Is he running for office when he gets out?
So
he should.
I need to ask you a question.
I'll be right back.
If the government's bad and sucks, and then somebody does what the government does, how are they better than the government?
He's not doing what the government does.
Like what you just said, they bleed people out. That you said is capitalism.
We live. That's the system we live in. You can either be on the side where you're getting the blood sucked out of you, or you can find the side where you can profit from it and have some freedom. And with that freedom, try and provide a better way for the world. The price of Daraprim went up $750 from $20. You know, he gave away.
Done good.
He done good, yeah. He gave away 60%.
I'm not saying he's doing bad business. It's good business.
He gave away 60% of that at cost to people that couldn't afford it. Okay, so if you could, here's who paid for it: insurance companies. $750 for a pill that has like one cycle and you're cured. You realize how many pills they give you for things that they aren't cures? They're things that they keep you on them for years and years and years, and they're charging you more than that. $750 per pill for a one-cycle pill. You know how much they charge you for a saline drip, which is literally salt water? They charge you $750 for a saline drip that is literally salt water.
That's crazy. That's almost exactly how much my insurance costs so that I can afford the medicine.
So Martin took this. He found the exploit. He made some money off of it. And you know what happened? They found a generic alternative almost immediately that they could sell for much cheaper. And 60% of what he made, he gave away for free anyways. And it was 2,000 to 3,000 people a year that suffer from toxoplasmosis, and this is a one-cycle drug. If you think this is more than a drop in a teardrop in a pond, in an ocean of what we're really spending on pharmaceuticals in this country, then you're mad. If you want to hate them for raising the price,
I'm mad more for the individual. You know what I mean? Like whoever got hammered by that, they just have a more awful life for it. You know what I mean? Like if you got to pay that much extra money.
The insurance companies got hammered for that. 60% of this was given away at cost for free. If you couldn't afford it, you could write to him and he would get it to you. The insurance companies paid for that.
Pay for the other 40%.
Yes.
But who pays the insurance companies though?
Everybody does. That's the business. You got people down in Florida who are sending toilet lids and damn walkers to sit down and take a dump to old people that they don't even need because it can charge right to Medicare.
For his Wu-Tang Clan album to get bought by the government.
Yes.
That's awful.
It's part of a greater problem, and to put this on his back is disingenuous, and you all owe him an apology.
I would say it's pretty accurate, but you know what? I mean, if he's a businessman, he should be fine with it. It's like Bobby
Why would you say it's
complaining
accurate
about not being able to get a date, huh?
Why would you say it's accurate?
Well, if you are accurate in which way? Sorry,
you said
I
accurate.
Lost the train there.
Yeah, then let's go on. Then if you're lost, because I don't know, I can't tell you where you were.
Oh well, I'm not the best debater. All I know is when you raise the price of a medicine to make money, and the sole purpose of it is to make money, you don't get to brandish yourself as some kind of savior.
Well, do you think the sole purpose was to make money? The sole purpose, for one,
did he buy it to help people out?
If you're a public company, your sole purpose is to make money, and that's the problem.
No, not entirely. I own a company, and the sole purpose isn't to just
public?
make money. No. Publicly owned, as in like traded with investors and all that. No, it is not.
Because once you go public, your literal goal is to make them money. You are held accountable to make the people who invest in you money.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a public company.
Yeah. And that's why you really can't talk about what he was doing from his company. But beyond that, he wasn't doing it just to make money. He was doing it to build his company so he could offer more options to the world.
I'm saying that's fine. He can run any company he wants, but if you make a morally dubious decision, it's morally dubious. You know what I mean? You can package it in a million different ways, but if the end result is, hey, some people got hurt over a business decision,
who got hurt?
that's for the person who made the decision.
Who got hurt? Who got hurt?
Needed the pill cheaply.
For years, I searched for people that got hurt. I found one article from a guy that had Daraprim taken away from him, not because he couldn't afford it, because there was another alternative, because he wasn't taking it for toxoplasmosis. He was taking it for Lyme disease because he got bit by a tick. And I kept searching for more people that were hurt by this uptick in price. And yeah, you could say, well, people have to pay their insurance. Literally, it's not even pennies on the dollar. It's not even a thousandth of a cent on the dollar.
Necessarily.
Then if it costs nothing, then where does the money come from?
Where does the money come from?
Yeah, where did he get his money for his pill if it costs nothing? Did he just give it away? He raised the price, then gave it away for free, so therefore...
He gave away 60% for free.
Where's the money?
He gave away 60% for free.
And 60%. What happened to the 40%, and how much was it? That's what I want to know. Do you know that? Because I don't.
If 2,000 to 3,000 people a year,
it went in his pocket.
It went to his company, and his company did research and development. They brought up
on the product they bought.
they bought. On the product they bought, that was an ancient product.
They bought something someone else made, and they're researching and developing an already finished product. What are they going to do? Put it in a different colored pill?
It's finished, but it's not. It's not perfect. It still has side effects. And if they could research those side effects and make them better and more digestible to people,
everyone, give the stream a like. For me,
I just want to know where the money went. Is all.
Where the money it went to research and development. It went back into the company. It made the company more valuable. It allowed him to produce other drugs that other companies weren't producing. Drugs that save people's lives. I can find more instances of people whose life were saved by Martin Shkreli than people whose life were destroyed. I haven't found any that were destroyed. I found one guy that couldn't get Daraprim anymore because he was getting it diagnosed for Lyme disease and not toxoplasmosis.
So everybody who needed Daraprim got it. The price was raised immensely. 40% of it was spent out of a price hike that was well over 40%. So he still profited significantly from the medicine, and his company profited
something.
He
found something that was being undervalued. And he brought it back up to the current market price.
Auditor,
this has nothing to do with the IRS. This what he did has nothing to do why he's in jail either. It's completely unconnected.
They wanted to get him, and they found something they could get him on. Like if you're targeted,
if you were to audit this, what the fuck? If you were to audit this, it would be all us sitting around a table having some drinks because that's what you're good at, not fucking auditing.
Yeah, I actually run a business, but. You know, here's the thing. I'm not a billionaire, right? And neither of us are billionaires. But
he's not either. He's a multimillionaire.
Where's the money? That's all I'm asking. Like, if the money went to research and development to make, people live forever, that's great, but it just doesn't seem too likely. So just call me skeptical. I don't have all the facts.
Yeah, you don't have any of the facts. You don't have any of the facts.
Do you have do you not have a bias though?
No, I spent a long time. I spent a long time trying to find the dirt on this guy.
Please don't scare the puppy.
No, I'm going to scare the puppy. No. I spent a long time studying this. And y'all saw the news call him Pharma Man Bad. No. And you guys all bit into it because it's easy to digest, because he's got an easy story. But if you look at it from the eyes of somebody who knows, you'll realize he got a bad rap.
But you said he was trolling people, right?
Yeah, he's trolling people all the time.
He gave himself a bad rap.
Partially, yes. But not exclusively.
Then, why should I give him the benefit of the doubt if he gives himself a bad rep?
Then don't.
Well,
continue to.
I'm worried about
continue
the 40%
to ask.
You mentioned. I'm really curious about it.
Yeah,
I don't know this guy.
It went back into his business to further his pharmaceutical company that he was trying to build, so he could help more people. So he could take on other drugs and make drugs that are hard to use, easier to use.
What?
And then why didn't I see big articles saying, hey, this Martin Shkreli guy we dumped on, he's made all these wonderful drugs that make your life better.
Because he got cut short by the feds.
The feds stopped him before he could spend the money.
Literally, the feds stopped him for something that happened before he bought this thing. It was from previous businesses.
So the company that was making the medicine better is just gone.
I think it changed its name and it's operated by somebody else now. I think he relinquished his association with it.
Can make a miracle drug then, and
they
I
might
guess
be.
It evens out.
And they might be. You have to go look into that yourself, though. Like this, I suppose, it doesn't matter to anything. I suppose. Well, I could argue without saying anything. I just want to see.
Man, I'm reliant on you. You say you're his friend. I'm asking you for information. You're giving me information. If you want me to go look up the guy in Google right now and look up his finances, I can. But I got a feeling, since he's in prison for finance fraud or whatever, I'm probably not going to find a lot of good info on the internet about where he spends his money. But what I can tell you is when somebody says, hey, there's a 40% amount of money here that goes to good things, I get a little skeptical because I'm thinking most people usually don't do the right thing with that amount of money, especially if they paint themselves out.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's completely reasonable.
Was he politically active? Oh yeah, didn't he try to steal Hillary's DNA or something?
That's why he got put in. He got taken off of probation and put back in jail because he offered.
That's one person you don't fuck with and expect to not have consequences.
He offered money for a strand of Hillary's hair so he could clone her.
I mean,
it was a shitpost, but it was It was not a good one to
Well,
make.
if he's just a rascal,
you don't fuck around
then
with
I
people at that
apologize.
level, right? Would you fuck around with someone at that level?
I mean, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
like her or not, you don't say weird shit like that about someone like that.
But
that the Secret Service protects.
Let me say one thing though. I want to be clear because I want people to get my personality wrong. I think business is fine. You know what I mean? I understand the idea. Like, hey, the money flows like wine in America. You just buy stuff up, it moves. It's like stocks and bitcoins. You know what I mean? The pump and dump is real, and the people on the bottom end get screwed. That's just how it works. I understand that, right? But when you participate in it, you still participate in it. So, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be an angel. It's like saying Bill Gates is great because he gives to charities. That's not true at all.
That's neither here nor there. Like, yeah, if everybody,
that's almost exactly the same thing. We're talking about big multi-billionaire moguls, right? Bill
He's a
Gates is
multi-millionaire.
He's
a multi-millionaire, not billionaire. He doesn't even have over 100 million unless he made more while he was in prison. He was worth about 30 million. It's a decent amount of money, but he was also a child prodigy hedge fund worker. He didn't make that much money off the raising of the drugs.
Hedge funds are not very publicly positively viewed.
No, not at all.
Right.
That's gambling on somebody's business to fail.
Well, like the whole the GameStop thing was kind of
and
like
he
a
wasn't
jab
the
at
only
that.
person that went from hedge funds into pharmaceuticals, and there's a reason they all did that, because that was the new Wild West of money making.
Taking
was
jobs
pharmaceuticals.
and saving lives. See, what I do is I destroy the small companies and get rid of all the jobs and liquidate them, and then I turn them into magical pills.
I'm taking a poll, and I made it totally subjective. It's, do you like Martin Shkreli? Yes, no, or neutral. I put neutral on there too. Maybe some people don't like or dislike him.
I don't hate him. I think he's just another businessman, right? But still, you know, follow the dollar, right? You got to look where the money goes.
You have to look then. You don't know. You don't know. If you follow the dollar, you'll realize he didn't make that much money off raising the price of the drug. And in interviews, when he was interviewed why he did it, he said it's because that's what the market would allow me to sell it for. And if anything, I might have undervalued it. He might have been able to sell it for more at the time.
Do you think it's like people kind of get high off of collectively hating someone?
He's easily hateable.
But what we've noticed now, especially with social media, is like you can create a community among a bunch of people that just hate one person, and even within that community, like, it'll get to a point where anything negative said about that person is like believed like it's a fact, like instantly.
That's true.
And if it gets enough reach, then you've got like Onision, like cable television, making TV shows about it at this point.
Yeah, putting a TV show out after months after he was deemed not guilty. His case was thrown out, and they still interviewed the sheriff and put the sheriff on the show, who I think timeline-wise was interviewed after the case was thrown out.
He wasn't even found not guilty. He didn't even go to court.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't even prosecuted. There was no
the
not
case
guilty.
was closed.
Right. The case was closed. He didn't have to be found. Like, not guilty is worse than your case.
Yeah,
getting
not
thrown
even
out.
he never went to court. The case got closed in.
Not guilty
I
doesn't
think,
even mean you're innocent.
I think the case was closed in June or July of 2020, and the show came out in 2021. And they painted him as having the case still open. That's a glaring mistake by Discovery to say that they're still investigating when they knew the case had been closed.
Who do you trust more, Martin Shkreli or Onision?
Martin.
Okay.
You know what? I'll agree with that. I trust Martin Shkreli more than Onision as well.
Okay. I don't know either. I know Onision better because I've actually met him. But
Onision is driven by his self-interest and all of his.
Okay.
All of his.
Because he's a bad. Well, now he's already turned on you. Not as bad though. I think he kind of left it open with you a little bit.
Yeah. He obviously has his reasons to dislike me or whatever.
But he hasn't gone for the jugular with you like he does with other people.
Yeah.
Like other people we know.
Yeah.
That, we won't mention them, but he like goes for the jugular.
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh, they're mentally ill or whatever.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone there.
But with Shkreli, he would sit down with somebody and he would spend, a long time talking to them to like process why they hated him, and he would tell them why they were maybe misinformed, and by the end of the conversation they'd like be fans of his.
So it's being split three ways, Billy, and I'll let you view this for however you'd like, but yes and neutral equal out the no's in this poll.
Yeah.
So
well, he's not.
Oh no,
I agree with Billy's point earlier about he's just a businessman doing business. He's still a human being.
Do you
he's
want
not
him
a
to
monster,
do
but
like 3/4 of a decade in prison? That's the question.
no,
Does he deserve that?
I don't think so. I don't even think he deserves 7 years. Honestly, he probably just deserved a financial slap on the wrist, a couple million out of his pocket. It would have been a little bit more reasonable. I think throwing him into the slammer for 7 years seems like they're trying to make a point, right? He must have pissed somebody off really bad.
Yeah, and then they dug into some shit and found some shit to put him in jail.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I'll still trust a billionaire investor over the U.S. government any day.
Brainius Balky says, Billy, why do you feel the need to defend this guy? I don't feel the need to defend this guy. That's my friend. I'm defending him because people are coming up and saying things, and I happen to know a deeper understanding of it. Like I just know more. I know more about this than the majority of people do. And if you want to do the research that I have and come here and debate me on it, you're welcome to.
Should we bring in Brainius Balky?
No. If anybody wants to sit down and find the points, I'm open to it. But it seems like most people are kind of over the Shkreli talk, anyways.
I don't know. I like arguing
Happy
with you,
says
Billy. It's
because
fun.
Billy is trash. Happy, you're trash.
Oh.
Nobody
Billy,
asked.
you're not trash.
Nobody asked your opinion. You're trash for calling me trash. Only trash would call somebody trash without being provoked. I'm not trash because you provoked me.
It's
trash.
like when you fart and blame other people of farting, but you were the one that farted.
Okay, I might be trash because I would do that often.
All right, well, we have our moments, right?
Oh, shit.
I'm a sweet boy.
Do you want to argue with someone about Shkreli?
No, because nobody knows anything other than media says he's bad. Pharma man bad.
Okay.
Nobody knows anything about it.
I just see the price raise of the pill. That's all I'm focused on.
Yeah, that's
on,
all.
Right?
That's all
it's
you.
Always,
and I said.
anytime.
And I said that that's what the market allowed him to do. As a capitalist, he was allowed to do it, and he used the money to go back into his company, his business, his investors, research and development, so he could take on other products and build his company. Well, I can't remember the name of the company right now, but he went to build that company, and he probably would have done pretty well had he not, made a complete ass of himself.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I'm not a
if you
fan
didn't
of
get thrown in the hook-
capitalism.
If you didn't get thrown in the pokey for 7
you
years.
could say you're not a fan of capitalism, but
I have to live in it.
Yeah,
I mean, like, we're not like laissez-faire capitalism or anything, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I love capitalism.
It's
I
a
see the
limited-
damage it can do, but it's like it's a way of life. You know what I mean?
I want to.
It's a way of life, and that's the damage.
To check out the Ben shirt. By the way,
Speaking of capitalism,
yeah. Speaking of capitalism,
Yeah.
if no one,
We hate
it's funny
capitalism,
because it's a communism shirt that I'm selling for money to make a profit off of. Shh.
Someone
tell
says
them.
he exploited a corrupt system. He took part in the only system that we have, and he went on to do good things with what he did. Like, you may not have seen that. You may not have seen all the thank you letters that people sent him because he saved their life.
Yeah, because that's like anecdotal shit.
Yeah.
Like, unless he puts it out there on display.
He just would talk. I spent like 6 hours a day
Everyone,
hanging
please
out with
like
this guy
the
for
stream.
like half a year.
Please like the stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hate
the
the player,
joke.
not
We
the
don't
game,
like
right?
capitalism. By the way, buy our shirts. I mean, like it or not, I have to live in it, so I'm going to do what I can to get by in it. But I wish there was a lot more socialism. There can be like a little socialism and a little capitalism. It doesn't have to be an extreme. And like, I'm not communist at this point. Like when I was younger, I was. when I was in high school, I was really into communism. Now it's like I don't want the state to own everything. You know,
yeah.
I prefer like a blend of like a social democracy with a little bit of capitalism in it. I'm fine with that.
I would just like to see less homeless people on the streets, literally. You know?
Oh my God! Here, there's literal like whole like public parks
communes,
are now homeless encampments and tents.
The system's designed to milk you until you break, and then when you break, there's a small little safety net that ends up costing more than if we just didn't push people to the breaking point. If we had a society that valued the rest that humans need to continue being the cogs in a system, then maybe we wouldn't have all these breaking points.
Well, if you notice, like a lot of the countries with huge populations are economic superpowers because of that. So China, huge workforce. India, huge workforce. The United States, huge workforce. Those are the top 3 countries in the world by population. And they all like that. That definitely helps out a lot.
We weren't even the workforce wasn't the driving force behind.
No, not here specifically, but the workforce does contribute.
Yeah,
to that.
All the other countries are catching up to us on the consumer level, and that's where the real.
But they don't have the same like regulations, so that's why even American companies like don't. They ditch the American workforce for some cheaper labor.
Yeah,
you know
of course, yeah.
I remember watching.
If you want to manufacture a computer component here in America, let's say it's a new processor that's going to cost you like, $300 to sell it from here from China, but to make it in America, it's going to cost you $600 to buy it. Why would you pay $600 for it when you could pay $300? You know?
Yeah, I just remember watching this news report about these people that lived in China. It was a husband and wife, and they both lived in this like dormitory that was owned by the factory that made a lot of the shit that was sold at Walmart. And like he worked the day shift and she worked the night shift, and they only saw each other for like 2 hours a day, and then they worked like opposite days, and they lived like part of their paycheck went to them living in this like small apartment owned by the company that made all the shit for Walmart, so that Americans could save like $5 on some stupid shit. It's like that. Some dumb shit. And I was like, holy shit, that's awful.
I don't personally know anybody who wants to work in a factory. I know people who want better work.
I've worked in factories that were good. Like there was a time in my life where I was working like a really shitty job, and then I got a factory job where in Ohio, that's like a good job for someone who doesn't have a degree or anything. And I worked in a factory for a little while, but it did suck. I think it damaged my hearing too. Even though I wore earplugs, I think it damaged my hearing really bad. I worked in an adult diaper factory.
Cool.
Bariatric diapers, like diapers for people who can't stand up because they're so big, like those kind of diapers.
People don't want to work in factories. People want to feed their families and make sure that their children have, what they need to have a better life than they do. So they go in and they
do
work
a job like that,
and then beyond, the labor issues of them sitting in this factory wasting their life. For numbers, they make a pittance, and the people above them are sucking up off of their work, and then the advertisers sell all these ideas to them and their children. They need more stuff to buy, and that's what the real cash crop in America is our buying power as people. We created the middle class, and when the middle class was created, I think was it Ford so he could sell his workers the Model T. Because they're making so many of the Model Ts.
Someone just said, "I'm surprised they have a factory for that." Are you serious? Because the factory I worked for made product for a bigger factory that like outsourced the company that I worked for.
Yeah,
there was a bigger diaper factory. Fuck yeah, dude. You know how many people okay. Look at how many times the average person shits, and then think about someone who weighs so much they can't even stand up shits. And then, How many diapers does that take in a day, and how many of them are there? We're pumping out thousands of those in a day.
You'd be amazed the amount of shits I could take.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like Billy at his biggest was like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's like ratchet it up, dude. There's 800-pound people. There's a lot of them, and they poop their pants constantly. Because why get up a toilet? They can't even sit on a toilet unless they get like a special toilet.
They're just taking poopies in their little disposables.
Yeah,
slapping them around.
We had
collecting.
kind that would shoot lotion into the middle of it.
Oh my god!
Like squirt.
Luxurious.
Oh, an
Man,
ocean of
the
lotion.
engineer on that, he earned his paycheck.
Well,
I
it could
couldn't
be
imagine
like-
how to engineer a diaper that lotions itself.
It could have been like someone who was Billy's size at 600, but was like 6'7" or something like that. You know, they could weigh like 800 pounds. You know.
Yeah, well, there's people who could weigh 800 pounds and be under my height and stuff.
Yeah, but that's extreme as fuck.
Yeah. Their legs start to look like other fat people hanging off of them.
like
they're cloning.
Like
Yeah.
riding their... Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like in Total Recall.
God. All right, we're at the end of humanity here. Let's move on to something... All right. You know what? Before we get into this influencer shit, let's watch the thing about Milo.
Milo.
I haven't heard that name in like 3 years.
That's because he
What's
was
he
on.
been up to?
Well, the reason why you haven't heard that is because he was on this show. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, I remember now. I was thinking like Milo. I remember Milo. What happened to that guy? And then I just, I guess I'm not as politically grounded as most people.
So Milo Yiannopoulos, I guess, is he prayed the gay away. So now he's not gay, which was his whole shtick. Is he admitting that was all a gimmick at this point? Like
Being
he
gay?
wasn't. Yeah.
Maybe being straight is the gimmick because he wants
I don't
his
know.
money back. He wants to get some
Look, it
relevancy
ain't-
back.
It's because it swung that far to the right. Like the extreme part of the right could have liked gays back then, but now it's like swung so far where like he has to pretend to be straight.
I think they do like gays now, but they prefer their gays to be the Dave Rubin type of gay.
They don't like him either. Not
The
like,
right doesn't?
No, not the people Milo are trying to pander to.
Oh.
Milo's trying to pander to like the Nick Fuentes of the world now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't even like the ones that are on their side. The ones that yeah.
But
I guess you got to approach a new audience as you go forward. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's been 3 years since I've seen him. Now he's doing this. Can't say I'm surprised, right? How long is the, same gimmick over and over and over again going to last, especially between election cycles, right? So now you don't have Donald Trump to talk about anymore. You can complain about the current president. So what do you got to do to spice things up? Because you already did the, I'm a gay Republican thing for how long? How long did he do that? Or I guess... Yeah,
I mean,
how long did he do that? Because he's no longer gay.
He did it very
so.
successfully for about 2 years, and then he a show that he did with us and with Joe Rogan about when he was about a year into it resurfaced when he was supposed to be the big speaker at CPAC, and a lot of the people who don't like gay people at CPAC did not want him to speak there, so they found some dirt on him, and that's what that was. Honestly, it was a hit job because people in our audience already knew about what he said. It was the people who they were looking for dirt on him. It was other conservatives that uploaded this shit. That's what it was.
Man, you just can't go anywhere without a fight these days, huh?
Yeah,
I was friends with Milo Yiannopoulos
No, you
back when
weren't.
he was gay.
No, you weren't.
I want to defend him now, but I was only
You don't know him.
I was only gay with him. So
Oh, okay.
now that he's straight, it's like I don't know the man.
Instruction, loves knowledge. But he who hates correction is stupid.
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
It's
stupid.
No, they say it as like stupid.
Like I'm making a bowl of stupid.
Yeah, he looks totally straight. And this is, by the way, this is Rick Wiles, the guy who was talking about the Mark of the Beast technology
Yeah, that
on
goof.
their phone.
Man is not established by wickedness.
You know,
But
the
the root
amount of gays that go straight because of Milo can't compete with the amount of straights that are going to go gay because of Lil Nas X. So he's fighting a losing battle. Lil Nas X has probably already turned like 1,300 Christian boys this morning.
The righteous cannot be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a prudent man covers shame.
Look at that mullet. Why are mullets back? And mullets and fanny packs. Is it 1991 all over again?
Well, I think when you go from gay to straight, you have to go through the phase of Tiger King before you get there.
They're back. Mullets are back.
Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are his delight.
Brand new grift. Good for you, you grifter. You found a whole brand new grift, you grifting loser.
Paul's got a brand new grift.
I'll give him credit. He's not a terrible reader. He should just read books or something.
But who wants to listen to this?
Yeah,
not me, though. It was pretty boring to listen to.
Yeah, that was...
It's like, hey, the Bible. I hadn't heard that one before.
That was surprisingly gay for somebody who has been gay converted.
All right,
Straight
so what is
conversion.
this? Like, people can't stop watching videos about rich influencers?
And creator money, experts say it could be harmful.
How so?
TikToker star Holroyd's video about her quarterly earnings reached 1.2 million views. That's not that many views, really.
How does TikTok get monetized at a certain level? I've never seen ads on TikTok, but I don't use it that much.
Question.
I think the majority of it becomes like sponsorships.
Oh, okay.
British TikToker Star Holroyd gave her 705,000 followers an insight into how much money she made by being an influencer between April and June this year. In the video, which has been viewed 1.2 million times, Holroyd broke down how she earns money as an influencer and said her earnings for the quarter were 14,500 pounds, nearly $20,000 before taxes and her manager fees. Now, she doesn't even have 1 million subscribers or followers on TikTok, and she's making, what, 20 grand for 3 months? That's decent. That's decent money right there.
Hold on. So 20 grand over 3 months?
Yeah, before taxes. This is her quarterly breakdown, right?
Okay.
The TikToker was one of Holroyd's most viral. This TikTok was one of Holroyd's most viral hits. So she probably makes more than that now that that's gone viral. Despite still being a taboo subject in some industries, for online content creators, talking about money can be a surefire way to generate conversation, especially when it comes from within the influencer world, which is still relatively new. The influencer industry has a need for reliable, accurate information, and so we think people enjoy reading an honest take on what they make, be it $100 a month or $100,000 a month across different social platforms, said Business Insider's Amanda Pirelli, who popularized the format of interviewing content creators about their earnings. We also do a lot of work to fact-check the figures creators share with us through verified documentation they provide. So, like, there's this big industry of people just watching these videos that have like extravagant lifestyles because you're kind of like escaping your reality.
It's like lifestyles of the rich and famous in present day.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I'll look at like pictures of like really like illustrious, like huge houses, right? Like stuff that even if I could afford it, I'd never live in it. By looking at it, it's like, damn, that'd be nice to have. And then I come back to reality. I'm like, I like what I got. So it's never harmed me any. I've never been like, oh man, I gotta go put marble floors and everything and raise my ceiling 30 feet. I haven't done any of that.
I've taken a boat tour past Medina, Washington, which is where Jeff Bezos does he still live there? Or does his wife own that shit now?
I think he lives in outer space now.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he's on the moon, right?
I've seen Bill Gates' house. Oh, hold on. Who owns that house now? Yeah,
Man,
I don't know.
hate Bill Gates.
Bill Gates' house, it's not a house. It's like a whole compound of like several large buildings. He bought up all the houses like in a neighborhood and made it into like his own little private neighborhood. And
It's funny. That's just how he ran his business back in the day, buying up the smaller competition and kneecapping them and building his business. So,
Right.
It's an effective method.
Yeah, and you can only see all of it from a boat in Lake Washington. That's the only way you can see it. And I heard this because I took a boat tour to see it. They said because there's he has his own beach like on the lake shore, like on the property, and they said he imports the sand from Africa. It's like, what, dude? You can't buy some sand around here?
Need that African sand.
It's like white or something. It was like white African sand.
Maybe he pays people to check each and every sand granule to make sure it's not poisoned.
I know, like.
I figure you own a compound, right? The only reason to own a compound is if you got a lot of enemies, or if you just want everybody to leave you alone.
You have to take an elevator because, like, the house is down at the bottom of this really steep hill. You have to, like, all the houses down on the level where Bill Gates lives has to have like their own elevator from the street level down to like where it is. It was when they combined like the seawater around here with the fresh lake water. They dug like a canal that connected them, and that's like the lake, like Lake Washington, like went like way down the level of it, and they built a whole new patch of real estate on Mercer Island and all around like the Lake Washington area.
A brain thinking about earning money can look a lot like an addict's brain when high on cocaine. So you get this rush that you would get from your addiction to cocaine when you're thinking about earning money.
I found $900 on the floor once, and it did feel great, but I haven't done cocaine, so I can't relate.
Yeah, I think what it's saying, right, is it triggers the same synapses in your brain as being high on cocaine because you're effectively thinking irrationally about the potential of one day earning this yourself.
That's
right?
why gambling's addictive too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
According to Joyce Martyr, LCPC, a licensed psychotherapist and author of the Financial Mindset Fix, a mental fitness program for an abundant life, the desire to learn about influencers' earnings fuels dreams of greater financial prosperity and a life of abundance. And you follow these dreams and you buy into like what they sell you, and you end up losing your money you earned buying into their bullshit. These influencers that are telling you to buy something to be more like them, you buying what they're selling is going to make you less like them. It's going to make them more like them because they're taking your money and they're siphoning it into their account by the thousands or millions of every little fan. You're not creating your wealth. You're literally generating it into their pocket. They're leeching off of you.
It's like when people do the gambling streams, but they actually have no risk of losing anything, so all they do is profit. You can't do that as the viewer. You're the prey. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, they're getting paid upfront gambling, and there's rumors that some of these guys that are doing the gambling streams are making a percentage of the losings that their fans lose. I don't know if that's been true, but it's been accused. That would be
That's
crazy.
happened in the past, so it ain't a new thing, at least. So, it's something to be wary of. But damn, look at that compound.
Did it say who got the house?
I don't know. It's asking in the Seattle Times. I'm just looking. That down there is their little beach down there near the lake.
Who gets Xanadu 2.0?
That's what they call their
family
house.
mansion.
It was the first, like in the early '90s. It was a smart house, like with all the shit like we would know from like an Alexa, only like throughout your whole house.
Just light turn on kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look as big as I thought it would. So take
It's
that,
pretty
Bill Gates.
big. It goes back into the trees there too.
I'm sure there's like a whole basement level.
Is that
too,
like a
yeah.
sliding, like a weird? What is that inflatable thing in his backyard?
It's like a kid slide, right?
Okay, yeah.
No, it's just for Bill. You can't touch it.
Do.
Yeah, what is that?
Is he on it?
Okay, like what is that in the upper right-hand corner? There, it like curves off into some huge thing that goes back into the trees too.
What are you talking about?
In the upper right hand.
Yeah, the upper right, the big it looks like something you'd see in like a timber factory where they'd shoot logs down it.
It's an amphitheater.
Who knows what it is?
I know. I've visited. I performed there. Bill Gates is like, hey, could you do a cringe rap live for me? He flew me in McFondle, and we had the Cheesecake Factory girl there.
Was Jeffrey there? Your buddy Jeffrey?
Epstein? Yeah.
Epstein?
Well, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Epstein got a bad rap, dude. Ghislaine,
I won't debate you on that one because I don't want my name associated with it.
Ghislaine Maxwell was the perpetrator. Jeffrey Epstein was just walking around like, hey guys, how you doing? We should get these girls home. It's past their bedtime. And Ghislaine was like, no.
Ghislaine.
No, I'm going to eat their adrenochromes.
Delicious adrenochrome.
It's funny, like Martin went to jail for making that stuff up, or like saying that stuff about Hillary, that he was going to clone her or whatever. And then 3 or 4 years later, there's all these people who are running like for political office, and they're suggesting some of the craziest stuff about their opponents and like Hillary and the people around them. It's kind of nutty how many people now are doing it effectively.
It's crazy.
Well, as time changes, so does the way we conversate. You know what I mean? Like almost every news article I see is almost trying to troll you, right? I don't remember it being that way a long time ago. So, and the way just any eccentric person in the spotlight acts is significantly different. Social media didn't destroy everybody, but it certainly turned folks a little bit cartoony, maybe is the best way I can describe it. Everybody seems like a Looney Tunes character these days, in my opinion.
Yeah, it gives the worst of us a platform to communicate with the best of us. And that's
I like to think the best of us don't go online, but that's just
No, I think
wishful thinking on my part.
I think some people use it very well.
Billy means himself when he says the best of us,
Of course.
and he's constantly online.
I'm not constantly. I haven't posted to Instagram in over a month.
Okay.
The left is going to begin the push for vaccine mandates and vaccine passports.
Vaccine passports, oh yay.
Plans for a vaccine passport.
This vaccine passport.
The vaccine passport. There's going to be growing.
It's never happened except for like private businesses asking for it. It was never publicly mandated.
Pressure across all of corporate America to force proof of vaccination status for movement, for everything.
Like as soon as they made it legal for like maximum capacity sporting events and stuff, the teams wanted you to show that you were vaccinated to sit in certain sections, and they were still letting other people who weren't vaccinated sit in certain sections.
Just like no mask, no entry, no vaccination, no entry.
Vaccinated only section.
Oh, he in Seattle, right?
So vaccination segregation.
The very same people, literally the very same, who just the other day told us that segregation was immoral, are now enforcing segregation.
At Turning Point USA, we are going to give it everything we have.
Yeah, but God, Tucker Carlson, he has no integrity at all. At like literally none, because he means segregation based on whether or not you were vaccinated against a deadly virus, not whether
skin
or not
color.
Yeah, skin color. That's the
like
That's
look,
the segregation.
I'm not super left leaning, but I'm not going to compare getting the jab to my melanin in my skin. Those are two. As Billy told me earlier, two completely different things.
Yeah.
To make sure that students are not going to have to live in a medical
I'm a race
apartheid.
realist. I could never win a race. I'm so slow and fat. I just got to be real about that.
Because they don't want to get the vaccine.
medical Jim Crow has come to America. If we
Medical Jim Crow.
That is an embarrassing statement.
I know.
Still had water fountains, the unvaccinated would have separate ones.
They should.
They'll just put it in the water if they want you to have it so bad. Isn't that what everybody says they're doing? They put the chemicals in the water to mess with you. If they wanted to mess with you, why are they waiting for you to line up?
Like, people don't get to just change their race, but you can change your vaccination status in a matter of minutes.
And if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't be using my water fountain anyways.
Right.
Give in to the bullies on this vaccine passport issue, the ongoing mask mandates, school restrictions, and they'll never stop chipping away at your liberty and your privacy.
And by the way, just so you know, as proof, if you want to get a job, you'll need your vaccine papers.
Good.
If you're
Especially if you're working at a hospital.
worried about being forced to show your papers for travel,
It's not, dude, it's not they're trying to compare it to Nazi Germany now.
well, you should be.
That we're on the verge of East German style, show me your papers. Show me your papers. Show me your papers.
Show me your papers.
Show me your papers.
You have to show your vaccine paperwork. You literally have to show then a
These are the same people. These are the same people who spent years calling for Barack Obama's birth certificate.
Right.
They were on the Show Me Your Papers for years. DJ Fix Soul gave a $20 dono and it didn't read, and I want to tell you guys why it didn't read. It's false information. It got shut down by the truth bots. DJ Fix Soul says Billy has been compromised. Execute plan beta immediately. This is not a drill. Obviously, I haven't been compromised. I'm a sweet boy. I've been a sweet boy, and that's not going to change, no matter how many of my friends they lock up.
Well, hey, just because you're friends with felons doesn't mean that you're a felon. That's just unfair.
I mean, some of the best people I know are some of the worst people you know. But I was this weekend. I told myself that I wouldn't go see Space Jam 2 until I saw the new Anthony Bourdain documentary, because it's in theaters right now as well. And I was gonna go see it one night, and I was a little too late, so I went and I saw Pig, which stars Nicolas Cage, and he plays a chef or a former chef. And I thought that would be a good movie to watch if I can't watch Anthony Bourdain's Roadrunner. And I went last night and I watched Anthony Bourdain's Roadrunner, and it was very, very good documentary, very, very deep look into his life and inevitable death. I just bring that up now because I don't know if I should even bother watching Space Jam 2 in theaters at this point. I waited this long. What do you guys think? Should I watch Space Jam 2? Should I go buy myself a pair of Space Jam Jordans and sit and stomp on some popcorn kernels?
No. That's not what we do. We tear the LeBron James head off the dolls and collect as many as we can.
That's
Have
great.
you seen that?
That's great how the LeBron James doll heads are like the new cryptocurrency. They're the new Bitcoin.
Yeah, I love that.
People are
so
stealing
you got the
them.
doll? No, screw that. Where's my LeBron heads, man?
Yeah,
I need 5 LeBron heads for a gallon of gas.
I just want the head.
It's like Fallout with the bottle caps, but instead it's LeBron James's head.
Yeah, we probably should have talked about that officially on tonight's show. So I like there's like these LeBron heads off of the damn Space Jam action figures, and they're going for what, like $1,500 a piece? Have they gone up any higher than that?
I don't know if they're really selling for that much,
Okay,
but yeah,
that's
the
the
concept
meme?
is that it's a meme for sure. But they produce these LeBron James Space Jam figurines, and the heads just pop right off. It's just a little peg there. You can just easily grab it and remove the head, and no security system can stop you. They're not going to be able to detect LeBron James' little tiny head. So people just go to the store and take 30, 40 of them, stuff them in their pockets, and walk out. And then some other heroes, they go in and they draw tiny little LeBron James heads over the pegs. So now it's LeBron James, but with a very tiny head. And I'm interested to see what the value of those things are. are WB going to just make a whole bunch more and flood the market? Or are they going to change the doll? So if they change the doll so you can't remove the head, there's a good chance that the head alone will be worth a lot in 10 years. An even bigger chance that the whole body and head thing will be worth a lot. So, since we're talking about the Wu-Tang album, it does kind of go into the artificial scarcity deal a bit.
Yeah, I wonder if the Wu-Tang album will hold up against all the LeBron heads out there.
How many LeBron heads will you need to buy the Wu-Tang album?
I think if you have 1,000 LeBron doll heads, you might be able to get one of the tracks off the Wu-Tang album.
That's a heavy bag. Yeah. I love that.
LeBron?
Yeah, they're tearing LeBron James's head off.
Who is?
All over.
Mostly people at Walmart.
Yeah, they're stealing the heads off the LeBron James action figures and selling them for a premium online.
Why?
Because they have value compared to crypto coin now. They're the new crypto
I think it's
market.
more. They call me pessimistic. I think it's more because nobody wants to buy them and they're very easy to vandalize, which is a big manufacturing mistake. They should have put them inside sealed boxes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a picture of the dolls in like a glass case locked up at Walmart now because people were stealing their heads so much.
Yeah, because how are you going to stop that?
They're like the Space Jam figures? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now people are walking around with like pillowcases full of LeBron James heads. And it's like, it's literally Fallout now.
It's a dystopian
Want a Big
world.
Mac that's going to be 1.5 LeBron heads, man.
Oh, you're going to
Need
get
'em.
way more. You could probably franchise a McDonald's with 1.5 LeBron heads in about 6 months. When the world falls apart and we're all doing business by LeBron heads, LeBron doll heads.
I'm going to feel real stupid having all that gold.
Yeah, everybody who
It's gonna be
invested
all
in
LeBron
gold is a
heads.
fool. You know who's got
Yeah,
gold?
kinda, actually.
LeBron and all his championship rings.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Passport.
Show me your papers before you get on this train.
Kennedy, no!
You know, when I was watching MTV and I saw Kennedy on MTV back in the day, I should have known this was coming.
Really?
I should have known she was going to be a sellout show. The realest
That's
person.
what I was saying, Kennedy, no.
The realest person on MTV ever was Matt Pinfield. Matt Pinfield was real from day one to day gone. Day one to day break. Matt Pinfield was the man.
Here's the child tax credit versus Fox News.
Do people really need this money?
Oh, I don't want to listen to this music.
Yeah, it's painful.
Clothes, groceries,
Sounds like a clown taking a
childcare,
piss.
school supplies.
Yeah, it's weird on Fox News. They were like attacking child tax credit.
Do people really need this money? No, they need more than that.
Protesters clashed with police during anti-lockdown
This is a
demonstrations in
Band-Aid on a
Sydney,
bleeding
Australia on
butthole.
Saturday. Thousands of people,
Those
mostly
It was in Australia. The anti-lockdown people there freaking out.
maskless, gathered in defiance of public health orders amidst a growing COVID-19 outbreak. The protest turned violent fairly quickly as demonstrators threw potted
scream at the
plants,
horses.
paint,
Fuck those
and
horses,
water
right?
bottles at police officers and media, while others physically assaulted police horses. New South Wales Police Minister David Elliott announced the formation of a strike force to identify and charge those involved.
What we saw today
Who's
were
that
three-
hoss? Is that was
That guy's huge, though.
They shouldn't be using horses. For
was that guy from NXT
Yeah.
Australia? Like that guy was a muscle man.
1,500 very selfish bullheads. People that
Very
thought
selfish
that the law
bullheads.
didn't apply to them. There is no doubt in my mind that at least one individual there today had COVID. It is
of course
statistically impossible for us
Yeah.
not to consider that.
New South Wales, Australia's most populous state
very
and home to the
selfish
country's most
bullfits.
populous city, Sydney, has been 4 weeks into a lockdown to contain an outbreak of the virulent Delta variant of the coronavirus.
We want freedom!
At least 57 people were arrested at Sydney's protest, with many more expected to come.
We
Whilst
want
in the
freedom.
neighbouring state, Victoria, local media reported
Guy Fawkes mask is my favorite.
at least half
That's
a
old.
dozen were arrested in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
I'm gonna get my Guy Fawkes mask out and hit a horse with a brick. I hate the virus.
Die, horse.
Yeah.
Here's another Australian thing. Australia's trash parrots. It's a
Cockatoos
cockatoo.
in Australia have learned how to open residential garbage cans.
Oh my god! I hate
you
this.
open that up.
I'm muting
Is he about
her.
to get stuck in there?
Yeah. No, he's about to get treasure. Look at him. He knows what he's doing. He's been here before.
Does he got cracker?
Yeah.
Polly got a cracker? Damn, he got an Australian toaster biscuit.
We prefer cracker, okay?
Yeah.
I've seen one of those things pull down pigeon strips, too. They're pretty smart. Look at him go.
Sulfur crested
Does he have something
cockatoo.
written on his back?
It's probably garbage from digging around in the garbage.
Yeah. He's probably got food dye on him from rolling around. Oh, they're helping each other.
Yeah. These cockatoos are just digging through the trash. You hear San Francisco is about to spend like $20,000 per trash can to make it so you can't dig around in them for food.
That's dumb.
They're proposing a $20,000 per trash can price so that homeless people can't dig around.
How would they stop homeless people?
Well, you can't really do that in San Francisco because the price of housing in San Francisco is so high that you'd have to literally take the homeless people and make them like little pod apartments in the trash cans.
I'm saying cap the price.
Oh, look at him go. He's got a friend. Yeah, well,
hey, they have a sandwiches. I go out to lunch. I go out to lunch with a cockatoo one day. Make me a little sandwich.
Share?
He's trying to steal it.
No, he ain't sharing. He ain't
Swagger
sharing
Jack.
nothing.
That piece of shit.
The guy was not in a sharing mood. The other guy didn't care. He's like, whatever, I'll just go get some more, dude. Have some. That was my sloppy
I like
seconds
these
anyways.
birds. Make a Pixar movie about them.
Trash birds.
Yeah.
Dusty and his twin Daryl are beautiful birds. Dusty's owner would not let Dusty dig through a trash can.
No,
Dusty's
a
owner would
beautiful
dig
bird.
through a trash can. But he wouldn't let Dusty do it.
Nope.
I think they just have like
Yeah, he's got a little blue mark on their back, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're
They're
like
fighting over the
tagged.
bed.
Birds are dicks.
Yeah,
They all
I
know
got
how to open
bit
it,
by
though.
a
They got the
parrot, like
technique down.
an African gray parrot. And when I was like, ow, it laughed at me and went, ha, 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 like that, literally. It would bite you and laugh at you.
I wonder what would happen if you smacked one. Like, would they attack you?
Maybe,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're fragile.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't want to smack one.
They survive like based on being able to get away easily.
I just like I wouldn't want to smack one on purpose, but I
No,
feel
they're
like if it
fragile.
came out of nowhere and bit me, I wouldn't like know what it was.
maybe.
I'd swing at it and I'd feel really bad if I knocked him out. I'm like, oh,
I'm sure
man.
a lot of cockatiels have died that way, Billy.
Yeah, because if they're just sneaking up on you and biting you, and if I get bit, like, I was watching a movie this week, and this fat lady got shot in the ass, and she was like, "Oh, it was Mulholland Drive, yeah," and she was like, something bit me bad," because she was so fat. She got shot in her ass and thought just there was an animal or something that bit her. And I think if a bird came and bit me, I would probably swing at it. I'd feel bad if I hit him in the head,
That's
though.
so mean.
I wouldn't know. I was just reacting to getting bit. It's law of
It's
averages.
just nature. It's awful, but it's nature.
Disgusting.
Nature is awful.
It's too late for me to have a alcoholic beverage. Appreciate you guys keeping me
Yeah,
sober.
That didn't happen.
But what are you enjoying?
Have a nice tea now.
A nice tea.
I'm staying sober. I'll take my alcohol home and have a nice private drinking party without anybody else. All
That's the way you do it,
by
man.
myself.
We're gonna pause for a quick break just to remind everyone that Actual Mania coming up this Friday.
He called me, sir. It got me so fuming angry.
Don't forget, it's coming up, and I played the wrong thing, but we'll get to that in a
They're
second.
laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
Actual Mania 22 coming up on pay-per-view. Oh, no, not this again. I fucked up.
Got me so fuming.
There, we're back.
It got me so fuming angry.
That's going to be...
I'm back, too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the main event alone is worth your $5.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sticky says Don Jr. is Patrick Bateman. He's got a few hookers in the freezer. Wasn't there like a theory that Patrick Bateman didn't do all the murders? It was his like fascination.
Well, yeah, that's how the movie goes. It has an ambiguous ending, right? In American Psycho.
Yeah.
So you can either assume Patrick Bateman did everything, did some of the things, or was literally just, you know, him going crazy and feeling as if he did something. It's basically touching on mental health issues.
Yeah, I feel like Don Jr. thinks about doing that stuff, but maybe hasn't pulled the trigger. But then you look at Hunter Biden, who got caught with all those prostitutes. But I think he had a general love for them.
a general?
Yeah, I don't think he ever wanted to harm them. He just wanted to, you know, probably pay good money to have bad sex with them.
Check out this crazy news story.
A shocking discovery inside the freezer of an apartment in South St. Louis. The body of an infant was found by a man who was living there. He says the box was in his family freezer for decades. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal is live outside the building where that discovery was made. Jeff.
Yeah, so sad, John. We're on the 6,000 block of Magnolia. The man who was here was caring for his ailing mother inside an apartment here. Tonight, he says he is an emotional wreck with so many questions running through his mind. Adam Smith had been living in this apartment taking care of his mother, who passed away from cancer just days ago. He showed us a photograph of a wrapped box that was in his freezer.
So this was in the freezer for decades, in the back of the freezer in his mom's apartment. And it was a dead baby.
Well, man, that raises like a million questions. Are they even answered, or is it just a mystery?
If you were Banquet and your pot pie was shown in front of this baby on this advertisement, would you not be like angry that they would put your brand right here in the evidence bin with this baby?
Said his mother kept it inside their freezer for decades and told him to stay away from it. He opened it after she passed away.
There was a pink blanket, baby blanket, and when I reached down and touched it, and I could feel a foot, and I could see the baby's head with hair.
That's your brother.
Hair was still attached to it, smooth.
Police responded to the building early Sunday morning.
Possible.
They called the death suspicious. Smith told them, as strange as it sounds, he never looked inside that wrapped box, thinking it was a frozen wedding cake. He says it was a shock to him when he discovered the baby.
Can you imagine thinking you're about to eat some delicious 40-year-old wedding cake and there's a goddamn dead baby in your cake?
Who
I'm never sharing a
absolutely
refrigerator with anybody now. It's not
their
worth it.
own child in a box
Oh, yes, see, he thinks it's their own child, too.
for this long and never talk about it and never. I just have so many thoughts, and it's just insane.
He's distraught thinking about the possibility that that child may have been his sister and what his mother may have done.
I have to wait for the autopsy to see if that baby ever took a breath. And I cannot help it to think she might have done something to it. I just can't help it.
He wonders if he'll ever know the truth now that his mother
Why keep it in there?
is gone.
It's tragic. I mean, this gentleman just recently lost his mother, and to add that to it, I mean, my heart goes out to him. I just hope he gets some answers.
I wanted some kind of closure, and I feel like I may never get any closure because my mom's gone.
Smith says as a child he remembers his mother once speaking about losing a child at birth, and says only recently a relative told him that his mother once gave birth to twins, giving one up for adoption and losing.
That's his twin fucking sister, dude.
One at birth. Reporting live from South St. Louis, Jeff Bernthal, Fox 2 News.
Man, I'm never going to St. Louis. That's crazy.
The manatee lives near there.
Oof.
Oh, well, that explains two reasons that I go to St. Louis. There we go. All right.
If this guy wants closure, he's going to have to go buy like an old wedding cake. It's been in a freezer for some time. and just sit down and let it thaw and eat that cake, because that's the only way you're going to get closure out of this one.
Yeah, I have to like do some Dante's Inferno or Doomslayer stuff and go down there and get answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What type of wedding cake would you buy if you could buy an old wedding cake?
A baby-shaped one.
No! You ever see the video of that baby cake?
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. We're moving on.
No,
they made like a
okay.
cake that looks exactly like a baby, and they show them cutting into the. It's so gross.
Yeah.
Finally
What is this
arresting
baby?
an
Cool.
Iowa man after finding a rifle and multiple
Hell
ammo
yeah.
magazines.
And WGN's Mike Lowe is joining us now in studio with tonight's WGN Investigates.
What's your
Rand, Mike,
baby
good
doll?
evening to both of you. Tonight we are seeing police body camera videos for the very first time after WGN Investigates obtained them through a Freedom of Information Act request. What we see is the initial fear of a potential mass shooter ended up appearing to be a misunderstanding. Keegan Gregory Castile checked into the W Hotel on Lakeshore Drive for what he hoped would be a memorable 4th of July weekend. It ended up being unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. Chicago police arrived at the 32-year-old Iowa man's hotel room after a housekeeper alerted them that she had found weapons and ammunition while cleaning the room. That room overlooked Lake
Cleaning the
Going
room.
through his shit.
Shore Drive and
Yeah.
a portion of the busy Ohio Street beach. Police later said they discovered a .308 caliber.
Oh, he had his Nintendo Switch there too.
Yeah.
Man,
Or
she should
rifle
have just taken the switch and left. Now she's in trouble.
Equipped with a laser and a high-powered scope, along with 5 ammo magazines.
I have a permit. I thought it was
concealed carry.
Yeah.
So you're on a handcuff, so you're gonna put this on. Okay, that's no funny business. All right.
Officers searched the room, finding the rifle and removing the clips, laying them on the bed. Castile, in the hallway, explains himself to an officer.
It was my gun bag, and I was late at night. I emptied most of it out.
Later, in the interview room, after Castile has read his rights, he explains that he has a concealed carry permit in Iowa and accidentally forgot to unpack the gun and the ammo before he left, saying he took them out in the hotel room so he could use the bag at the beach.
I didn't expect, anything to happen of it. I just left them there for the day. Went to the beach, came back for the day, went out shopping.
The discovery was startling because of the hotel room's elevated position over a public gathering spot, raising the specter of a
Yeah, because of Las Vegas. Yep, that's why they were doing
situation like the 2017 Las Vegas mass shooting, in which a man sprayed bullets on a country music crowd, killing 61 and wounding hundreds of others.
It's my fault. I didn't mean to, startle him. I totally understand.
Something crazy.
I understand 100% why I'm here, but like I said, it was honest to God, an accident.
Castile tells the officers he was actually in Chicago for love, not evil.
My plan was to get on the carousel thing and ask her at the top of the carousel night, but
And if she said no, I was prepared.
Yeah.
No.
Then if she said no, I invite her back to the hotel room to finish a job.
Why he have so many toys in there?
There's a lot of them.
A lot of toys. There was
No,
a Switch. There was
maybe-
baby doll. There was a little puffy, fluffy fuff on the ground.
Hey, I'm not judging him and his woman or nothing. You know what I mean? Whatever they're into, it's fine. But it is funny to see a big gun next to a tiny doll. There's a dichotomy there to be
there was the tiny
appreciated.
doll next to the gun, and then on the floor there was like a little fluffy llama thing, a little boop llama or something. I don't know.
There was a
Ooh, he has a lot
Cinderella
of
pillow
toys.
too. I caught that.
He has a lot of toys.
here, so.
And when he got out of the police station, that's exactly what he did. Now, Castile had to surrender his weapons to the Chicago Police Department, and his case will play out over the next few months. He is charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated unlawful use of loaded weapons and is out on bond.
Aggravated?
Thank you.
And use?
Yeah, it would seem like a possession situation. Maybe they're charging him with aggravated unlawful weapons use just so that he can beat it easily. Maybe they could get him on like a charge of possession, but
they don't charge you with something higher so they know you can beat it. They just
don't
won't
know.
charge you with it.
That's weird. I ain't saying he's a genius for bringing those guns to a hotel. That's not very smart, but it didn't seem like he intended to do anything bad. Also, what was that? What was that maid going through his bags or whatever?
He might have left them out, right?
His bag.
Yeah,
he left
his
them
bag
out.
wasn't there. He took them out of his bag so he could go to the beach.
That's dumb as fuck.
Each,
Yeah,
let's
that's
go
pretty
to the
dumb
beach.
too. If I was like a maid and I went to a top floor and I saw like a gun with a scope on it, I'd be like, huh, maybe I should tell someone about this.
I don't think he had bad intentions, but we don't know if he had bad intentions. Maybe he just carried his weapons with him like an idiot.
Well,
we don't
hopefully
know.
the judges lied on him and he remembers to not put his powerful rifle in his backpack with a Cinderella pillow next time.
When you walk out on the streets of New York City, you said it smelled like
urine and pot.
She used to be on The Real World back in the day. The
Who
one
was
with,
she?
She was the one with. Remember with Puck?
Yeah.
She was the one, like, her and Puck had, like, a weird kind of romance at first.
Huh.
Can you back it up to the part
Rachel.
when he's sure
Her name's
was handcuffed
Rachel.
until I finished cranking it, please?
Nah, Seth, we can't go back. If you want to crank it to this old man, though, we can leave his stinking finger up for you.
Fox News has all the, like, MTV ladies from the 90s.
Okay.
Not a great morning show image, but it's true.
But the pot part is particularly important because after the shooting in Washington, D.C. on Thursday night, on Friday, the chief cop in Washington, D.C. made a connection that too few leaders in Democratic-run towns are doing, and that is he finds a direct connection between the violence and pot usage. Here's Robert Conte.
We have taken on a mindset that marijuana is not really a big issue in our city. I can tell you that marijuana undoubtedly is connected to violent crimes that we're seeing in our communities. When you
What?
Undoubtedly.
It just makes it easier for you to arrest poor people. Come on now.
Well, and, like, because it's driven underground, the only way to deal with someone ripping you off when it comes to weed is to fuck them up. So
Exactly. And if you're wealthy, you can smoke it illegally anyway, so nobody will ever bother you. You can write whole music albums about it, make TV shows about it, and live in an area that would throw you in jail for 20 years for having it. They won't touch you. But if, you're Johnny Nobody walking the sidewalk with a quarter on your pocket, oh, you're going away. You're a bad boy.
We have taken on a
Violent
mindset that marijuana is not really a big issue in our city. I can tell you that marijuana undoubtedly
it's a big issue where it's illegal.
It's connected to violent crimes that we're seeing in our communities.
But if
when
you
have
legalized it,
something where
what
people
would their
get high
connection be?
reward, they can make a lot of money by selling illegal marijuana, and the risk
illegal
is
marijuana.
That's why you
illegal
legalize
marijuana. You just said it.
If you legalize it, you take away their high value opportunity. It's
a bunch of nerds at a greenhouse somewhere will make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah,
and then they can tax it. So you create jobs and tax revenue, but instead, let's create criminals, put them in the jail.
What
They
we
make
should
more
do,
money.
we should
cops.
We should legalize all these drugs and hire these people who've been selling them illegally to work the store counters. Like, come on in, get a nice little job at the front of the store counter, selling little cocaine, sell a little heroin. So some magical mushrooms. You go to outer space. You
Someone
outer space
said,
and mushroom?
you know what? It is technically legal in D.C., which I don't know how that works because it's the federal district. It's not even a state. So I don't know how it is legal there, but it is technically legal in D.C.
The risk for accountability is very low. That creates a very, 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 very bad situation because those individuals get robbed, those individuals get shot at, those individuals get involved in disputes all across our city. I'm seeing it happen more and more.
And he's not alone.
I got something to say. They got like the CBD places here in Texas, and they sell like this Delta 8 and Delta 10 stuff that is, for intents and purposes, basically what you get everywhere else. And I hadn't seen like windows smashed in or people shooting each other, or, stabbings or even like weird people hanging around the shops. It's just regular people. And I talked to the people that run the place, right? And they're not skeevy, folks. A lot of them are military even. There are some of them, or very many of them are ex-military. So it seems like,
the former Speaker of the House, John Boehner, who I don't like, owns a huge part of a medical weed operation in the United States now. Or I think it's recreational too.
It's not fair for them to focus on weed when the start of this news vignette, this piece of the news, was it smelled like urine and pot. When are we going to vilify urine? Too many people are getting away with pee-pees.
Spec.
I know a guy.
How does she know
He threw
the
pee-pee
smell
at
of
another
urine
guy,
and pot so well?
and he got away with it. He threw a pee-pee at another guy and got away with it. He threw a cup of pee-pee. Yeah.
Pee-pee?
And he got away with it.
Pee-pee?
When are we going to vilify pee-pee?
Was it pee-pee?
He threw a pee-pee at a guy and got away with it. A pee-pee.
Is she saying that the
Yeah, it was
pee
pee-pee.
is caused by the weed? Like all the weed smokers are just urinating in the sidewalks everywhere?
I think so.
Cities, they're doing as well. But what are they going to do? It's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. They've legalized pot in a bunch of places, and now they've seen violent crime spike. They're going to say, you know what, we made a mistake.
Well,
they should, because obviously the chief's numbers support what he said.
Yeah, you know what? When I smoke weed, all I want to do is murder. That's all I want.
I get a little bit of that green stuff and I just go crazy, man. I go on a bloodlust.
I want to
all I can think of is
fornicate
pulling
with
the eyeballs
jazz
from the innocent.
musicians.
I've done very little weed in my life, and I've done very little murder.
I just want to fornicate with jazz musicians when I smoke weed. That
I
Cab
usually just chill out and
Calloway.
play a video game and stay inside.
I want to throat fuck Bleeding Gums Murphy every time I smoke a little dude.
Cartoon. Do you have a cartoon penis?
Yes.
Okay.
Really glad that the
Yellow.
chief brought this up because it's a very touchy topic because pot has just been so normalized in our culture. But he brings up the point that there is a nexus between pot and violent crime. And it's not just the buying and selling. It has mental health effects. You have a higher chance of schizophrenia, of having psychosis. I mean, there's...
No. You don't have a higher chance of getting schizophrenia. It can unlock, like, late onset schizophrenia.
Yeah, if you have a history of schizophrenia in your family, maybe you should moderate your weed use and see how you react to it, or don't do it. Like don't do weed or do weed, but don't tell me not to do weed because that jackass over there has got a history of schizophrenia.
Right.
Hey, look, Billy, I know it helps you, right? But there's this one dude who did it, and he had a bad time. So you got to go fuck yourself. Go to prison. Okay?
My favorite thing about weed is getting high and blowing dudes.
Behind that, people
Fair
ignore that, and the pot lobby is very powerful. It is very powerful, and they're normalizing it with our children. If you come out against it, you're just an old fuddy-duddy.
Well, and what the chief said, he said, look, there are people who are being robbed to get the money to buy more pot.
Right. Senator Schumer is going to try to make it national,
that doesn't happen for anything else,
legalize it nationally.
Legalize
it. Should be. Actually, a bunch of Senate Democrats are trying to legalize it nationally, including Schumer. But Joe Biden doesn't support it, which is why he's a do-nothing fuck who I don't think I'll vote for again. Yeah, but she was in the cast of The Real World with Pedro. That's her, like, in the very front there. That's her. Yeah.
Look at her now.
Yep. She's
Really,
on Fox News.
Really proud of her for leveling up her career. Is Puck still alive?
I think so, but he's been in prison and shit.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He used to work for MTV after all that, right? He got a job working with them?
Not for very long, if that's true. Like other people have. That's like some early 90s shit that probably only we know about.
Arizona has done its job. Which states will follow? Every state should be auditing their votes. Other states are taking an interest in the audit. Audit the votes. A full forensic audit.
Yeah, OAN is even more right than Fox News.
Yeah.
And they're like covering the Arizona audit like it was something huge.
More states are following Arizona's lead. Pennsylvania has taken a keen interest in the Arizona audit. Georgia is primed to begin an audit. If you'd like to contribute to the Arizona audit or bring other states to view this audit, if you'd like to contribute to see this audit fully funded, if you'd like to contribute to see this audit fully funded, the Arizona legislature must decertify the 2020 election. Reach out to the Arizona legislature.
Yeah, is she triplets? Is that what they're saying?
Let them know you support their
No, the segment aired 3 times.
Stop.
Oh.
their decision. If you'd like to
multiply.
contribute to the efforts for election audits in other states, in the near term, we can expect to know whether the count that was certified was accurate. If it was not
I think they're right
accurate,
about weed, Billy. I'm starting to freak out.
Yeah.
Me too.
This is why I don't piss.
I'm
or
about to
smoke weed.
murder. I'm about to murder.
9. Oh, my God. That kills me.
This segment aired 15 times.
Yeah.
Wait, is your last name Boob?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hope it is.
I hope it is.
Well, I mean, if they want to spend money counting ballots, that's up to them. I just wouldn't get too excited about it,
Let's try something else here. Let's read the Streamlabs we got. Man, we're only at 75. All right, guys. If we can get to 50% before the end of this show, I will do a cannonball zap.
Dragon of the West has just got a promotion and got money from quitting my second job. Here's some for the Sweet Boys and Hellbent's velvety voice. Going to take a bongo rip.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Seth Looks gave us big love. DJ Fix Soul gave us big love. Lord of Nurgle gave us big love. And Jackson Pittman says, any cool restaurants, things to do in Santa Fe? I already know about the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum.
There's there's a place called Pascal's, which is very good breakfast place to eat. And there's Canyon Road, which is all the art galleries. There's Meow Wolf, which is this artist collective that George R.R. Martin funded. There's also a theater owned by George R.R. Martin. It's the the Jean. There's a theater. Just look it up. It's like a coffee house and a theater. Oh my God, there's so much there. Just walk around. There's just amazing stuff there. It's an amazing place.
Cool.
It's a beautiful, amazing place.
Yeah.
Amazing place. How neat I've found these things in Santa Fe. I wrote that song for Santa Fe, and it's an amazing place. I know it was. I got tired of singing.
That's just enough to fit one of those tourist commercials, though. They really ought to hire you for that one.
They should, yeah. I should write. I'm going to become a jingle writer.
Jingle writer?
Yeah, I'm a jingle writer now.
Hell yeah. Jingle all the way, Billy. Jingle all the way.
All right, we're going.
My jingle name is John Jacob Jingle Writer Schmidt. Boom, boom, boom.
Clee disappear.
Clee disappear.
Clee disappear.
Ride the jingle.
Disappear. Write the jingle. Ride the jingle.
Come on, ride the jingle.
Blitzo said, ride the jingle.
Ride the jingle.
Ride,
I'm about to do a zap,
ride.
but we
gonna
don't.
ride.
We only have 30 more minutes, so help us get to 50%. Let's do it. Let's do it now.
I bought these delicious pineapple vodka drinks.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got a whole
Can I see
4-pack. I mean, you could see it.
Can I have one?
No.
Why not just one?
I bought it for me. I'm taking them home.
But
I'm
there's
gonna get
4.
lit.
I didn't know you were none of us knew you were serious about drinking.
Yeah. I have not seen Billy drink in a while.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
excited.
See, I bought High Noon, pineapple, hard seltzer, real vodka, real juice. They charged me like $5 tax on this because
Why?
it has real vodka in it. So it's part of the
it's liquors.
vodka tax, liquor tax.
There's a.
It was gonna be good. I was gonna get.
I just want one of
Nope,
those. There's no
sorry,
way.
sorry.
What?
Those look delicious.
They were like $4 a piece. I'm gonna take them home. I'm gonna
I'll
get
give you
wasted.
$4.
No, I can't do it. I need all 4 for myself now. I was gonna drink them on the show tonight
Why
because
did
I
you
wanted
even
to drink.
show them?
Because you asked to see what they look like.
But you didn't actually show that you had anything to drink.
I told people. I told them. I said,
Look how
guys,
thirsty Ben is. You can tell just looking at him. He's parched.
I said, guys, if we hit, I'm gonna start drinking. If we can hit this goal in 10 minutes, and 10 minutes went by, and then
Okay,
20
well, you
minutes
didn't,
went by.
You didn't. Come on, dude.
I mean, if you look back on it, I gave everybody a little bright light, and nobody wanted to look into it. So now we're in darkness for the rest of our days.
This
It's
is
okay.
some passive aggressive
It's okay.
shit he's doing here because
It's
they
not
were all
passive.
mad about the
Blackmail right
Shkreli
here.
stuff.
It's not passive. I just had
No,
myself
it
a little
is.
box.
It
I had a
is.
little box
It
party.
is.
Little
It
box
is.
party I bought on the way in here. I said maybe I can get
You're
something to
awful.
on. A little something to drink on.
What's up, YouTube? Let's show you how to cook a steak. Yes.
All right, let's burn a steak.
Boy King Cobra JFS, we got some Angus beef. Now, before we lay down that steak and season it, we need to prepare our pan for the bottom half of our steak. So, we got some pre-made bacon grease, a little bit of that country crock butter. We're going to put a splash of that. We'll take our liquid smoke, and we're gonna put
He's
a
probably gonna
couple
pour like the whole bottle on.
drops on top of that butter.
Yeah, I don't see a need for liquid smoke.
I heard. Okay, that sounded like a lot.
Yep. You only need like a couple dabs of that shit.
And even then, you ought to just use a grill if you want it that bad, right?
Right.
Like, get you a little Weber. You're fine.
And we might just do both pieces. We need another fork for tenderizing it. And stab it through so it goes through both sides.
What's going on
We're
here?
doing this because we want to season in both sides.
Is the pan hot?
With some Rust County Payne all-meat seasoning.
Yeah, all I see is a wet plate and his T-shirt.
Stuff, not a sponsor.
Why do I-
Season this side up.
Why am I getting sick
Why
to
don't
my
we just
stomach
make the
looking at
camera a little
this?
further
It's like
away,
a greasy
you know?
pan right now, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Or did he come on that?
I don't know. It's making me sick.
First.
It looks like somebody barfed a little. Yeah.
On the other side of it.
My puke
Yeah,
pan,
we're
man, it
gonna
adds
do
the
that
flavors.
Same goddamn.
I'm getting
stick.
like anxiety and stomach sickness watching this.
Should I change it?
No.
How about you give me one of those drinks?
Hell no.
Why not?
I'm taking them home with me.
I want just one.
Nope. I want them all. I'm gonna get wasted.
You won't.
White boy wasted.
This is some weird angle you're working here.
No, it's not.
You would normally share one drink.
No, I wouldn't. They're all for me.
Drink.
Taking this other package here, yes sir.
What a disgusting
wash my
flavor.
hands real quick. There's the butter and knife. We're gonna throw that in the sink here in a second. Before we do, we're gonna add some flavor into the top of our steaks. I'm gonna take a little bit of that there butter, plop it on top. A little dollop of that right there.
What sort of steak cuts are those?
Salisbury.
This is definitely
Hard to, like, with the camera, it looks like two big old pieces of ham.
Cube steak.
Ah,
I don't know.
Cube steak.
I don't know what it is.
I agree, Jackson Pittman. That's a cheap cut, right? Like I never see those cuts.
I've never. They look like they're frozen.
Yeah.
He'd even thaw them out before he tries to stick them in the pan. He's like putting butter all over them. He does not know how to cook.
I mean,
you can't just add flavor. It don't work like that. I mean, it does work like that if you got problems, but generally speaking, less is more with season, you know? At least with most people. But, you know, he's doing fine. He looks healthy, right?
Happy says Billy's just an asshole in general. Happy, I need you to know something. I'm the kindest, most generous person you've ever met, and you can't see it because you're a sour loser. Oh, back to this steak.
Food. This is how I make my steaks. A little bit of meat seasoning, some butter, and some beer, and some liquid smoke. All right, that's enough butter, but we need a couple more drops of liquid smoke on top of that.
What the hell is he doing to this?
We got our liquid
Yeah,
smoke.
you don't need more liquid smoke. There's no... I mean,
I'm gonna
look,
throw a
I would
couple
never use that to
drops
begin with. That's the...
on
Oh,
top
no.
of the steak.
Oh, that's gross.
Is that he put more on?
Yeah, he's just dumping the thing out.
He's pissing
He's
on it with
soaking
liquid
him.
smoke.
That's gonna be so gross.
I love the flavor of liquid charcoal. That's
just like that.
Bon appetit.
Somebody destroyed his taste buds, right? Like, he's got to have some numbing destruction in that
Like
mouth.
someone gave him some tomato soup that was like boiling, and he just took a big spoonful of it.
I got a friend similar to that, and I think what happens is if you drink Keystone Light for 5 years, your tongue just goes crazy. Now
That's
you're eating
Trumpster
like
Bob.
ranch soup. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Ooh,
enough
Keystone.
liquid smoke. We don't want too much. And you can see where all that's in there, just like that.
Oh, my
Beautiful
God.
liquid smoke and butter on top. Now we're
So
gonna
he hasn't
soak it in
started.
beer.
He hasn't heated the pan yet.
No, he puts them in there without the pan already heated.
Oh my God!
So
Let
I
it
pour
soak
some
in,
Bud
you
Light
know.
Platinum on top
Oh, yeah. That's a good cooking beer.
of each one.
The beer that tastes like
A little
nothing.
bit
We'll go and
more.
put that in to add the flavor.
And then I'm going to turn the stove on, the stove pan on to a
He's
medium.
Dude.
Let that pan heat up.
No kidding.
Yes.
I couldn't tell. Oh, shit. Oh, he's grabbing us.
Now those sticks are going to cook up and that beer, that liquid smoke, and that butter,
There's
and that
no
seasoning.
way.
This recipe works with any goddamn steak, no matter how thick or small. Just do it up.
Is what he's cooking it in.
These are going to come out looking like gray garbage.
Bud Light Platinum.
Yeah, it's cheap, thin cut round eye.
Hold
Thank
on,
you, Isolation
hold on.
Agarist.
Is that a slur?
Yes.
Round eye? I was called round eye.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, you are cheap.
You
thin
earned
cut
it, round eye.
Ben.
You're not. Hey.
Up, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, round eye. Hey, round eye.
YouTube, yes.
Yeah, I knew somebody would know the name of that cut. Like I've seen, I can eye it and be like, that's a cheap cut of meat. I've seen that cut in the grocery store back when I was poor, but I also didn't know how to cook a steak anyway. So I was like, this is what I would buy if I could know how to cook a steak.
That's why I started smoking weed, by the way, so I wouldn't be a round eye anymore. Now I'm like more like this.
You committed genocide.
No.
You committed round eye genocide, Ben.
No.
That's why weed has to be illegal.
No.
It's commits round eye genocide.
I got to see the whites in your eyes to trust you.
Beer on your steak like this is super.
No, it's Bud Light
unnutritious,
Platinum.
but
It
it's
doesn't
so
have flavor. It
flipping
literally
good.
tastes like
It's on
water.
a pretty low heat. Want to cook it nice and low and slow to give it a nice tenderized treat.
A nice tenderized,
There's enough grease
low and
in
slow.
that pan to fry up these steaks just beautifully.
There's no
It's
way
below
this is going to be
medium heat,
beautiful.
so
No way this comes
it'll
out
cook
looking
nice and
edible at
slow.
all, right?
Don't want to rush this. Just want
We're
to
going to
cook
cook
it
it low and
nice
slow, so I don't got to do nothing.
While the beer and the butter just tenderize into that.
I got like a ceramic top for my grill, and on that I can cook some badass stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's a flat griddle on one side, and then there's like the one with like the ridges on it.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit, dude. I can put perfect like crisscross marks on things now, and they just cook in their own juice. And now at Costco, they've been selling Wagyu there.
Yeah.
Stabby, you listening right now? They're selling Wagyu there, so I can cook my own Wagyu.
Costco's got a good deal on their meats.
It's U.S. Wagyu, so it's
Yeah.
not the really good shit, but it's very
But it's
good.
still good, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That Costco meat ain't bad at all, man. That's some good stuff.
Fucking meat like yes.
The stove might be
YouTube's
broken.
gonna
That
be-
could be why he's using the hot plate Seth looks.
No, I want a nice medium rare.
I think it's
don't
just so
want
he
to be
doesn't
all
make
like
as big of a
fucking-
mess. Like if it's this big platform on the stove that's not like connected to a big box he's got to open up to clean. You know what I mean? It's like less messy, I guess, but still strange when you already got the stove, right? You think you just have a pan.
If I can help it. And turn that heat back up to a medium and get these cooked a little bit longer. I don't want to cook them for too much longer though, because they're looking just about right.
I gotta
I
see
would
how
not
this
eat
looks.
anything this motherfucker cooks.
I mean,
I'd be throwing darts at him while he's cooking.
I would eat it just to see, how it turns out, right? I would do it for the content.
How your food poisoning turns out. I hope you
would
don't
do it
die.
for the content.
I hope you don't die.
Yeah, it would all be for the content. Like I would have to do it same way any sort of traveling documentarian tries the wares of their region they visit.
Drink some kombucha, so that the probiotics kill the E. coli that you consume.
Already on top of
Dude,
that.
he cooked raw bacon onto like a frozen pizza.
Yeah, oh man, I'd puke.
Yeah.
A cow didn't die for this. This is the part that they sell to people who can't afford what the cow really died for.
Yes,
Well, you can still season it, but he smoked it with liquid.
I'd probably like make it into fajitas or something like that. Like you can't eat it as a steak.
Yeah, fajita would be good.
Should we have another brewski to celebrate glorious
pop
and
open
a
another
toast
one.
to the meat that we are about to be destroyed.
I gotta see how this turns out. Like,
Not cooking these for too much longer because I want it to be a little bit pink in the middle.
how is it gonna be? It's gonna be gray on the outside.
Most people can make this meat work. He has no idea how. First of all, he didn't thaw it out at all. He put it on a skillet on a stovetop, unthawed, or totally frozen. Like what the fuck?
Even if he did everything else right, the liquid smoke just ruined it. The minute he said, yeah, it's a little bit more right there. That was the minute he killed
You're
it.
only supposed to put like a couple drops of liquid smoke in.
Cult of Cthulhu says round eye is great for jerky, and they cook jerky in liquid smoke. So maybe Cobes is onto something. Maybe he's making these jerky
Are you
steaks.
calling me a round eye in that shot? I should be made into jerky?
Yeah. Maybe Cobes is
I
onto
like my
something.
jerky pink in the middle.
Maybe Cobes is making like a delicious jerky steak, and we don't know.
Maybe he's a round eye. Oh, he's a cocked eye.
You should just about done. I'll save the grease for cooking the other things too. The
What the
leftovers
hell else
they may
are you gonna
have,
cook?
like the salmon, you know.
Is he gonna cook the salmon
Good
in the
grease,
grease
why
of
let it
this?
go to waste.
Oh, I don't know,
Smoke
dude.
the recipe at the end of the day, not how big your steaks are, but how big the recipe.
I can't do it.
Goes for taste, really.
I don't know, man.
Oh, yuck.
Delicious.
It looks like French toast.
It's fucking frozen steak fried in a
No, we
frying
got a lot
pan.
of steak snobs who are going to scoff at me for this, but who
Oh,
cares?
yes. Oh, no. We're already scoffing at you. What are you going to do
Wait
next?
a second. Is he not going
What's
to
the
eat
next,
it?
What is the next level he's going to take it to? Take a guess.
Did he
'Cause
say
was-
he's making salmon next?
He said, all you steak people are going to scoff at me for this. What do you think he's going to do?
Oh, it's going to be ketchup.
Oh, it
It's
wasn't
gonna be-
already what he did?
No, I don't
Oh, I thought it was already what he
I
did.
think he's about to do the next level.
Is he going to put ketchup and Doritos on it?
Let's see. Here we go.
You know, there'll be a lot of steak snobs who are going to scoff at me for this, but who cares?
Ketchup.
I got two little Angus steaks.
I mean, they don't look
looks
good,
rancid.
but they look
I wanna
better than
cut
I
them
thought
open
they
in
would.
pieces.
They don't look good.
No, you're wrong.
I thought they were going to look worse.
They look like banana bread or something.
Yeah, I thought it was
What
going to
am
look
I
like
looking at?
gray, like look like it
It's
might be
like-
dog meat or
He
something.
burnt it too much for it to be gray.
Yeah, true.
And
And the
sprinkle
liquid
it with
smoke is
cheese.
coloring it
I
so
thought
it
he was
looks unnatural.
I thought he
gonna-
was going to add something to it, but I guess I was
He's going to cover it with cheese.
I dry off my hands real quick.
cheese.
Yeah.
No, you should only
Your
put like
bet's cheese, mine's ketchup. What do you think, Ben?
you should only put like
What is he gonna do?
gorgonzola.
You don't
on
want
it.
a cheese steak with a cheese whiz?
Or like a Philly. That's not a steak though. That's a sandwich
Oh
with steak and cheese on it.
These are dog food Pop Tarts.
Gross.
The fly actually upped the value of the meal.
Whatever seasoning you're
Yeah,
most
there's more
comfortable
protein
with.
now. Oh, I don't like him with the knife. That's scary. Watch
Dude,
out
he
for
has
your fingers, little
guns.
guy.
He has guns.
Oh yeah, he does. that's great. I love this country.
So what I'm gonna do now is just kind of cut this steak into strips.
Hey,
This
See
is
how
so
well I've been
violent.
cooking it.
he's got to hold on to the steak when he cuts it because the plate slides.
Yeah, I'm like extra
Oh, yeah, that's-
offended
that's
by
close.
this because of the Anthony Bourdain documentary I watched last night. Like, it's just I'm like fresh off of that, and then I'm seeing him cook this, and I'm like, oh, I'm like extra snob mode after that.
Look, I'm a bit of a snob. When I cut my steak, I don't use my fingers. I like use a fork or a utensil, or maybe even just the knife by itself. You don't have to hold on to it like it's going to jump out of the plate. It's dead already.
He's making steak fries.
Pink in the middle, but at least it's not overdone. I was hoping for a medium rare, but that's all right. Okay, King Cobra fan, let me take you on a journey right quick. We got this steak cooked up into some delicious munchable strips.
See, I'm not
No.
as like disgusted by that outcome as I thought I was gonna be. Would I pay for that? No. Would I cook that on accident and be like, oh, I ruined it, but still eat it? I probably would. If I cooked something that came out looking like that, I'd be like, oh, I fucked that up, but I'd still power through it. But I was expecting it to
See,
be
the
like
thing is,
gray.
Billy, none of us own liquid smoke, so we can't recreate his masterful work here. So we'll never know the flavor that he gets to enjoy.
I got liquid choke.
I like little steak chips. So now we're busting out the bag of cheese. Yes, please. The
Okay, I'm gonna take a
Ukraine medium
piss.
cheddar cheese, the family size bag. Yes, sir.
It's Lucerne. It's called Lucerne. He called it Lucraine.
Lucraine.
Lucerne.
Yeah, that country just got taken over, didn't it?
Lucerne is a city in Switzerland. I've actually been there before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's not as bad as Serengeti. But yeah, he could stand to Google something once in a while, huh?
We crack open this bag of cheese, yes please, and we're gonna sprinkle it with these. Now we're gonna sprinkle these steak bites, little steak strips with cheese.
Yeah, I got it. Cheese. There's some more cheese.
A little bit more cheese on this side and on this side. Yes, perfect.
A little bit more cheese.
Squizzle that before I put it back.
Oh, yeah. Chef's privilege, you know.
Now we're going to microwave this so the cheese melts on top of our steak bits, and then we're going to cover it and some toppings, maybe some hot sauce and some guacamole, whatever the fuck we feel like putting on it, because it's our fucking snack, YouTube. This is our food. Look at this. Cheesy steak bites. YouTube. Cheesy, fried in butter and beer. Just sprinkle of cheese.
A sprinkle?
Oh, yes,
yeah,
please.
it's like 4 or 5 tacos worth of cheese. You know what I mean? I can make that go across like 2 plates of nachos.
Yeah.
Give it a minute and 44 seconds.
Now he's microwaving it.
Again, so we just want the cheese to be nice and melted
You can hear
on
the
top of
strength
the
of the microwave.
Yes, please. All right, let's go with the ghost pepper.
You think it's the microwave that did it to him?
He probably stuck his head into it.
Well, it is high powered.
Got some ghost pepper and some guacamole.
Yeah, let's ruin it some more. We got some more juices to put in.
Yes, all that cheese is melted. Yes, please. Steak bites. Yes. Steak bites. YouTube. All the steak and the cheese melted together with ease. That steak was already cooked, Joe. So
it's all the liquid smoke oozing out of the.
You want to slap it with some ghost pepper sauce.
Oh God.
You see, if it burns your mouth,
hot
you can't taste
sauce
it.
is optional, but hot sauce tastes good.
This entire thing is optional. My option is not to eat any of it.
Good.
Yeah.
Look at that. All that melted cheese. Those steak bites. Now we're going to take our mashed avocado from Simple Truth.
What avocado?
And we're going to sprinkle it.
Ben, did you break into his house and make him that delicious dish?
Steak.
I left to go to the bathroom.
Be able to taste the avocado.
Now I'm back and he's got steak fries? Did you make that? Is that Austin style guacamole?
I'm using the same fork to eat this. Fuck it. It just had hot sauce and avocado on it, so we're good.
So this was
Look at that. Ghost peppers.
This is how the steak ended up.
Yep.
Man, if they served this in prison, everybody would quit doing crime. I wouldn't want to have to eat that every day. Oh, mercy.
Avocado.
It's amazing what they do in prison to make good food out of like nothing. It's pretty impressive with like good enough food, you know. They make it work.
They make do. So when I see this, I'm like, come on, man, haven't you figured it out yet? You have all these ingredients at your disposal, and you see liquid smoke on the shelf and go, oh, yeah, this is good. This will go good with my Bud Light and my steak.
Man, we're going to be coming to you live from BronyCon in a couple weeks. Coming to you live. Not from inside of it, of course. Well, I don't know. Are you going to go in?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Is it sold out?
It wasn't when I looked up last, but I haven't looked recently. It's my birthday. The audience needs to pay for my birthday ticket to give me a VIP BronyCon ticket, guys. Buy it for my birthday, guys. All I ever wanted to do was have... I guess Christine is doing a book signing, though, in the area. So
in the area?
I don't know if it's a book signing or if you have the book, Christine will sign it. But there's a book that came out that compares Christine to Andy Warhol. And Christine had posted that Christine would sign it if you had it. If there's not an actual official event to sign. But we should pick up the book. It's intuitive reading for those of us that love Andy Warhol and Christine Weston Chandler. Hi, Andy Warhol.
Christine raised $5,500, crowdfunded $5,500 for a trip. They're going to be living like a queen this entire time.
Yeah.
Probably staying at the W Hotel or something like that.
Probably the hotel that's there. They've probably
Hyatt
got,
Regency.
Probably got the ticket there.
Medium cheddar.
Oh,
beer
that beats
fried,
watching Road Rules, right?
baked in.
Is there any way Cobes will eat this and be like, "Oh man, this is bad"?
Nope, he'll eat the whole fucking thing.
No, well, here's the test, right? You see how much of it he eats. If he only eats like 1 or 2 bites, then yeah, that means he didn't like it. He's like, I'll put this in the fridge for later. That means scrape it in the trash afterwards. So we'll see. Does he eat 1 steak fry, 2 steak fries? I don't know.
I wonder if this steak is most definitely what's up.
It's butter and beer. Your boy Cobra got to
You really taste the Bud
hit of
Light.
this real quick.
Like a catfish eating a worm.
That steak. Oh yeah, fam, that was cooked to perfection. Even if it wasn't medium rare, medium well is acceptable in my opinion. As long as it ain't over.
It was cooked to perfection.
Even if it wasn't medium,
If it wasn't
rare.
cooked good, it was still cooked to perfection.
Yeah, even if it
is what
wasn't
he just
medium
said.
rare, medium well is still good. It's cooked to
not medium
perfection.
well, it's trash.
When you cook, you got things like temperatures and times and ingredients. But if you can just feel the cooking, right, you can make works of art.
Certain types of steak can be passably cooked medium well. Like,
That's most definitely what's up.
but
cooked.
It looks like he's dissecting a frog, then eating it.
Imagine you're a woman and he's going down on you. This is the POV. This is what you see.
That's the sound.
You
This is exactly what you see and hear when King Cobes takes you to Pound Town face first.
Bits is dynamite.
Dynamite. That's a
Dynamite.
He keeps slurp hissing. Quit slurp hissing.
You don't want to put hot sauce on it? You don't got to, man, but I was craving some hot sauce.
Cheese and hot sauce, just slurp it right off the top of the meat. Yum. Oh. No, he is going through it. I'll give him that. He is eating it.
Oh, yes. That ghost pepper hot sauce is straight fire, YouTube. Burning your mouth up.
Yeah.
Flavor, that's what's up.
You know what I want in
But
a
it's not
steak?
too hot.
I don't want to be able to taste the steak at all when I eat it. You know? That's the last thing I want is to enjoy the flavor of the meat. I want it to taste like beer and liquid smoke and guacamole and cheese and ghost pepper hot sauce. That's why I eat a steak.
Exactly.
Normally,
Glad you
have to
agree.
go to a fancy restaurant to get that smoky flavor, and the cheese and the hot sauce mix perfectly. But you can do it at home. You just toss it in the pot for 40 minutes.
There's a new steakhouse that just opened. It's called STK. I walked by it the other day, and I'm like, what's going on in there?
What's going on in there?
It's called STK.
What's going on in there?
STK.
Yeah, STK.
So it's
What
either
could
a
be going
stock,
on in there?
an acronym.
Steak. It's for like stick.
Steak.
Yep.
I like a steak. They take all the vowels out of the word steak and make it a restaurant.
My E-steak.
You might not be able to buy a vowel, but you can buy a Wagyu.
Think of how much money they save on signs, though.
Steak.
Vibe.
Steakhouse.
It's vibe dining.
Vibe dining?
Look at this.
That's
Look at this
not
steak.
legal in my state, man.
Look at this. Look at this damn steak.
Is this a Benedict?
Yeah, it looks like lobster Benedict, or is it
Yeah.
crab?
Good.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean,
consider what we just watched, I'm looking at this, I'm like,
I don't know. One in the chat if Cobes did it better.
no, no one agrees with that.
I'm looking for the ones in the chat.
Can we have a TV
Atlanta.
show or
This is
just
where they
hamburgers
have
or
them.
random restaurants?
Yeah, they. I guess they have international ones too.
Dubai.
Damn, they got one in London on the Strand.
I had a steak and a bees.
Toronto. So
Dubai steak.
This is a big chain of steak.
I'm seeing a lot of ones in the chat. That's most definitely what's up. Market
They're all masochists.
salads and starters. A baby gem Caesar. Parmigiano Reggiano, lemon black pepper, emulsion herb crouton. The blue iceberg, the crispy calamari.
Yeah. Raw
burrata.
bar.
Burrata.
Oysters on the half shell.
Mac and cheese. They have 4 different types of mac and cheese: traditional bacon, lobster, and the mac and cheese
Holy
trio of all
shit.
3.
Yeah,
that
right
sounds
here.
nice.
Yeah.
Now I want a steak. Not because of the Cobes video, but from STK.
What's the most expensive steak?
Yeah, let's see. Ooh, they have a steak happy hour.
What? $2 to $8 bites.
Yeah. They serve you just like little bits of the steaks.
Oh, I think it's $2 to $8 bites are the appetizers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's what they mean. The $2 to $8 bites. They don't want to call them appies. They want to call them little
That's
bites. So
dumb. I hate
They
them.
promote tapas. They promote you eating multis. What is that little? Let's see. That's exactly what Cobes cooked underneath
No,
those
it's
Doritos
not.
over there.
Those
Yeah, they
are
have a
Doritos.
steak and they have the guac and they have the ghost pepper sauce. And they covered it with Doritos. They're stealing from Cobes.
Look, I'd almost give the Doritos a pass compared to Liquid Smoke at least. You know what I mean?
let's roll
Bud
up
Light
again.
Platinum and Liquid Smoke.
Hold on.
Can we go back up to that burger?
Look, they have a grill.
That burger was built like a dick.
Okay,
Where's
that's
the
an
actual
interesting way to see
steak,
it.
though? I don't see it on here.
They have the
I thought I saw New York Prime.
Bye Miss American Pie.
There's the burger. It's in black and white.
Yeah, look at that burger. It looks like a chode.
You're full of shit.
It looks like a chode
Yeah,
dick.
I don't see it.
chode?
Yeah, a fat chode dick.
Okay.
That's what you get at STK.
They're
Called
like-
the Fat Joe Dick Burger.
They're like, we're going to
Chode
open up a
dick burger.
steakhouse in Seattle, but we want to have a burger on the menu. What's the most popular burger in Seattle? And they're like, oh, it's the Dick's Burger. That's the regional burger everybody likes here. Okay, we'll make a Dick Burger. No, you guys did it wrong. You did it wrong. Your
Look, it's not
burger
on the
looks like a
menu, but
chode.
if you ask for the Dick Chode Burger, it's delightful. It's just great. It's not on the menu. Secret item.
You're gonna go to that restaurant. You're gonna order the Dick Chode burger, and you're not gonna know how to eat it. But your girlfriend's just gonna go, oh, and throw out the whole thing. She's gonna throw out the whole thing. You're gonna be like, how do I eat this Dick Chode burger? Trying to bite it sideways. Your girl's like, nah, I got you.
How am I going to eat this?
I'm like, you could have at least taken the toothpick out. She's like,
How am I going to eat this dick?
champ. You make a papa proud. Nasty.
Papa.
I would still eat that over the steak fries.
What, the Chode burger?
Yeah.
When I go
At
to
least I might not die from it.
When I go to this restaurant, I'm like, I would like one Chode
Did you
burger,
hear?
please.
He said, when I go. He's going to go.
I'm taking Christine Weston Chandler
Is
here.
that where is that where we're going?
But Christine, you want to have a Chode burger? With my God-given bussy side?
Hi, Ivy.
Hi, Ivy. I have a
I
God-given
love that
bussy
video.
side dish.
You know what? Even though we've played it before,
why?
We're gonna end the show tonight with
a classic.
With a classic. I love
Okay. Should have shared your drinks, Billy.
It's delicious.
Hi, Ivy.
They do look delicious.
Yeah. God damn it.
Hey, Ivy. I'm doing this video for you. Oh, we are going to have so much fun together when you and I are together.
He's so horny and he thinks like some woman is coming for him to bang.
Look, I've been catfished 19 times. All right.
Okay.
I've never once been this horny. Every time I'm like, yeah, I'll send you $1,000, whatever, Nigeria, whatever. Let's send it, whatever. And then when they end up being a catfish, I'm never mad because, yeah, whatever. I'm never that horny. Chris was horny. That's where he was wrong.
You know, my
Now
mommy
she's
and I...
the one doing the
My
catfishing.
mommy and I.
My mommy
My
and I.
mommy
You know,
and
he got the suit, but he didn't cut his hair.
My family and I will come and meet you at the airport. And you know, your choice. So take you to your hotel or bring you back to my house.
That's what he's saying. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, if you want to go back to your hotel, you can back to my house. You know what I'm saying?
You want to
Like,
fucking smash, won't you?
Bang,
Come back to
bang.
mommy's house.
I mean, you know, we'd be hanging around so much and sharing so many fondful memories.
Fondful memories.
And you know,
Well,
I know.
I've been reading her Twitter recently, preparing for our inevitable brony down, not bro, but brony down,
Brony
down. And she's pretty woke on how horrible she was in the past.
Yeah.
And she's definitely a new Christine ready to take on the world and the future ahead of her. So we laugh
happy
now.
to see that.
We laugh now, Christine, but we only laugh knowing that you've grown into such a beautiful woman.
A
Since
few
these
good
days.
places in Charlottesville, you know. I'll take it, I'll take it there. We'll get some good things to eat, and we'll hang out. Have so much fun. Well, let's have a good time together. I know
You
places
know.
serve some great smoothies.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, the
Ivy,
cafe.
maybe we'll get some liquid smoke and some round eye cut steaks. And
We'll go get the chode burger at the chode Five
We'll get the
Guys.
chode burger and some Lucraine cheese to put over the steaks when we cook them together when we're together.
Yeah, good place. Serve good smoothies. And, we can enjoy a movie in the theater and at home or watch a television rerun. Family Guy. Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Or I Love Lucy. Or I got the entire.
I Love Lucy. That's because his parents were like 60 years old at the time or 70 years old.
It seems today that all you see is what Chris Chan's parents allow on the TV. Right with those good old-fashioned values with that pickle suit guy.
Island.
What did he call the pickle suit guy?
Pickle suited.
And we can make some music together.
Pickle Rick.
On Guitar Hero.
Hell
You can
yeah,
sing. I
Guitar
got a
Hero,
microphone.
the ultimate date.
Thing like drums. Yeah. And I look forward to the eventuality of you and me having our sex time together.
See, here he just came out and
I was
said it.
bracing for that. That's burned into my memory. I haven't watched this video in ages, but sex time's in my head forever.
That's what I think is beautiful about Christine. She knew she was not a high-value man, and she embraced what she could be as a strong single woman. She disregarded, throw it all away. And now she's very successful with the ladies and the men too. I was reading on the Twitter page, Christine thinks men are attractive, and she was so homophobic early on because her values couldn't allow her to deal with her attractions.
I'll do my best to pleasure you and keep you satisfied. Miss Biz Ivy, just for you. Just for you.
Ivy?
Ivy and Ivy.
I know a number of good positions and massages.
Who'd you practice your massages on? The dog?
The massages. Ivy?
You gotta, practice on people.
And, I know a number of places we could walk around at. We can walk about the mall.
Walk about the mall.
We could walk about the UVA grounds. Good places where there's plenty of green and sunlight.
I love sunlight.
And we can walk the hermit crabs together. Talking about some how you might walk your hermit crabs.
What? Did he just
Walk
say
your
he had
hermit crab?
crabs?
Yeah.
Walk your hermit crab?
They'll enjoy them together.
Wonderful memories. So wonderful memories. We're gonna have lots of fun. I'll do my best. To keep you entertained. Show you
How
good
could you not
times.
have fun? Look at how many toys he has. You
We're
got
having
infinite possibilities in that one space.
Good time. And I promise I'll remain your good boy forever and for always. And my friends I've been talking to between on the internet and real life, my real friends, they can vouch for me on how good of a boy I have been.
I'll be a good boy always.
Well, now you're a good girl, Christine.
Being the good boy just for you, Ivy. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Man, whoever's cutting that tree down needs to knock it off.
Look at me smile. It's
The
nice.
fans just getting angrier. I love it.
Because I love you, Ivy. I love you so much. I ran out of details. I don't know, I guess I'll sing a song. It's a jolly holiday with Ivy.
Oh no.
Ivy makes my heart so light. When the skies are gray and ordinary.
I love the part where he hits himself in
Ivy
the head and he
makes the
gets shorter.
sunshine bright. Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove. When Ivy holds my hand, I feel so grand. My heart starts beating like a big brass band. It's a
I
jolly
wonder how many of you out there have never been loved the way Chris Chan loved this beautiful catfish.
This beautiful catfish.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
This person
Nobody's
doesn't even
recorded
exist.
a video like this for me.
Yeah, this person doesn't even exist. They've been loved more deeply and purely than the majority of you watching. Yeah. Sit with that.
You actually make a good point.
Sit with that.
The wonder that it's Ivy that I love. You know something else? I should have thought of doing this before. You know, to put more positive highlight for anybody who does background information. I should recreate something for MySpace or Facebook with all the positive highlights and all the true details that would not be somehow twisted in any erroneous way.
What?
I'll work on that. I will work on that.
He needs the facts to be straight.
Because it's the honest truth from my head. From my head.
The honest truth.
I love you so
Yeah, I
much,
believe you.
Ivy. I love you. I love you. Talk to you later,
Okay,
sweetheart.
Billy. Here's the question.
And also
Who do
to
you like
your-
more, Christine or Martin Shkreli?
Martin's my friend. Christine's just somebody I enjoy watching content of on the internet.
All right, fair enough.
Or
I put you on the
policeman.
spot, but you blew me out, so you win.
I salute him with my Cub Scout salute.
Billy likes Christine so much that he watched the video of Christine banging a blow-up doll.
Oh God, that was not my choice.
Well, I can't. Love is love, I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm sorry.
Love is love.
They say love is blind, but I definitely wasn't blind, so I don't think that that's love.
You also watch Shani and Rev, too.
Yeah, not my choice.
You watch their porn.
The Billy,
Not
the
my
Billy
choice.
story, not my choice.
He's
Not
like
my
he's like
choice.
this little thing going, yeah, and she's like, yeah. She's like this thing that's like 4 times his size going, yeah, fuck me, yeah.
Whoa.
Like that. Yep. And he's like, yeah. Right? Did I
That's,
describe it well?
You probably
You
described it.
painted a tapestry in my mind, and I can see it, even though I haven't.
I had to paint it actually physically with a. I
To
don't
make
know,
like a
whatever-
fresco on the ceiling or something.
Yeah, I had to use Adobe Fresco to paint their trysts so people could see them at home during a private show we did. It was the worst.
Someone requested a Ben's Shani voice compilation. Yeah, if someone can dig up all the times I say wow, you can find some better material of the like there used to be a time where Jeff would be doing JF and Billy would be doing Mama JF, and then I would pop in doing Shani. And we had a few good bits like that. That was great.
I was like they were really there.
Yep.
I wonder if JF and Mama JF are back.
I
or
heard
if-
they were.
Yeah, that was the word, but I don't know.
Well, heroes never die, Billy.
That's but do you become the hero when you kill them?
Not cat pee. Not cat pee.
Yeah. Cat piss might have been the only smell you could smell in that house other than the smell of the house. It was that bad.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was her underwear, but it was just
No. When I said you smelled like cat pee, Shan, I was saying it smelled better than the rest of the house.
Yep.
That was a good thing.
So we are about to wrap up the show. We're gonna call it for the rest of the night. We will see all of you very soon here on Thursday. Don't miss it. We will be back then.
Must see TV Hellbent. You want to tell everybody where and what you're up to, where they can find you?
Absolutely. You can find me on YouTube playing video games, just random stuff, nothing too special, but I have a good time. Sam T is releasing a Dead by Daylight parody. If you like parodies of video games, especially multiplayer ones, you should check him out. I voice Frank and a few other characters. So you can check those out. I'd appreciate it, and it's good being on. It's great to see you, Billy and Ben.
Yeah, you
good
too,
to have
man.
you back on. Thank you.
We'll have you back on again very soon.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right. Good night.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.